It's a very popular song, that, Lee.
I don't really like it myself.
Why not?
I don't know. It's a bit.
Do you know what the most recognised song in the entire English language is?
Love it. Happy birthday.
Yay! It is, yeah.
Are you joking?
Do you know whose birthday it is?
There's Anita.
Is it not your birthday today?
It is my birthday today. Thanks very much for
Happy birthday
to me. Happy birthday.
Happy
No, that's
birthday.
enough of that, Daddy. I don't like the focus on myself. I'm kind of like yourself. Do you know I like dishing
Yeah, but
it
it
out?
is your birthday.
It is nice.
And you
it's
dressed
nice.
very smart.
I dressed up
Someone's
today
getting an invoice.
because I thought somebody would like to take a picture.
Someone's getting an
Come here, no,
invoice.
listen to me. I thought somebody would want to take a picture of me today, but not.
So how do you feel?
Not. I feel older. I feel like every other day. It's just another
But
day.
you're
isn't it?
very healthy, you're fit, you've got a positive mental
say
attitude.
that. No, but you say, but sure, we all have. Do you know what?
Do you ever wake up in the morning and your hips and knees are a wee bit sore?
No.
Well, you're all right. Then,
I'm all right.
aren't
I'm not.
you?
Every day's a good day. You can get up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come here, how are you?
I am doing good.
The wars were great on Sunday night, weren't they?
They were fantastic.
We couldn't talk about them because
I'm glad I went on before
Oh, look,
you.
she's late to the party there now. Look, Greg, let me tell you, I bought do you ever buy clothes,
There's a photo
right?
shoot taking
Listen,
place now here.
Did you ever buy clothes that you never wear, right? This is the first time I wore these trousers. And I got a shirt in a charity shop for €8, right? And says this'll
Oh,
go
God, I
with
just put a
these.
camera shot on. We're gonna have to pull away from that.
Pull
one.
away from that one.
It's a bit early in the morning for that one.
I know. But it goes
The
in my
awards,
boots, look.
the awards were fantastic.
I have to say.
I'm glad I went on before you because I don't do much of that stuff, but you do a lot of it.
But it was a very sensible
And you're
kind of
like,
thing.
yeah, and you got the crowd going, and
Thanks, Greg.
I was just too bloody serious.
Good weather's coming. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to be late for news. But no, it was
Dolores
good night.
Dunleavy says happy birthday, Lee. Paul McGuire, happy birthday, Lee.
Fivers are accepted.
No.
Revolut. Can I give out my number? No.
So you're with people every single morning. So you say happy birthday to an awful lot of people.
do.
So you've got the triple whammy. You've got Ash Wednesday, so no meat.
I do, yeah.
That's if you subscribe
Valentine's
to
Day.
that, of course.
Yeah.
You've got St Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And your birthday.
Yeah. So it's good.
It's all very exciting. So what are you going to do? Nothing?
Nothing. I do the normal stuff. I'm going to the gym now, 9:45. Anita over there, she's celebrating her birthday today too.
Oh, very good. Happy birthday, Anita.
A lot of people celebrate the birthday, which is a normal day, isn't it?
Is it?
Come here, you have a romantic thing going on your programme this morning. That's why I played Love in the Air.
I don't know what it is though. I don't look at the running order. I want a surprise, but we're speaking to someone about who was on First Dates.
Yeah, very
Caroline.
good.
Is that
That's
it?
gonna be good,
First
aye.
Dates, okay.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because you kind of tried everything when you go on First Dates, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
No?
I was never no good at dating. I was
Really?
never no good at telling somebody. Do you not think that boy would be talk away? But see somebody I fancied, I couldn't say to them
Yes.
that I liked them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the nerve. Or I couldn't. Do you know how you would chat to somebody? I couldn't chat to somebody that I really liked.
Why not?
I could chat to somebody I didn't like, but somebody I kind of had a notion of. I couldn't.
Oh, but surely you did all right.
Did all right, surely.
Do you know what I mean?
Took me a while.
Every saucepan has a lid, and you found your lid.
Yeah, found me air fryer. Yeah, air fryers are great. Come here, good luck.
Right, okay. You
Have a good
are
show.
going to just be in for so much treats today. It's
Do you
just
think
gonna
so?
go left, right, and
My
centre.
life's going to be so boring. If I don't get cake today, I'll be really disappointed. You built me up now.
It's tough to get a cake for you, though.
I
isn't
know
it?
it's gluten free, you see.
All right.
All right, good luck,
You
right?
were looked after with your gluten-free on Sunday, though. You can't complain too
there
much.
was pancakes yesterday from me, and here's
As well.
gluten free.
Okay, well, there you are.
Love is in the air.
Exactly. All right, Lee, have a good eat. Take care of yourself. Mary Clinton, happy birthday, Lee Gooch. Michael O'Sullivan says good morning. No happy birthday from Michael, though, so...
I still like him. He's right.
Right. The Nigel Noon Show is on the way, but we're a little bit late. But hey, it's to celebrate the great Lee Gooch's birthday. Isn't that all right? 3 minutes past 9. Let's get a news update, and it's over to Donna Marie Doherty.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Letterkenny Milford Municipal District has been told there could have been a tragedy on the M13 close to the school at Lurgy Brack after a car aquaplaned on surface water. Councillor Donald Coyle told a meeting this week that on heavy rain, water flows down the hill from the vicinity towards the junction at Drumney, and he wants Transport Infrastructure Ireland to install a pipe in the area. He says the council has to go out and deploy sandbags to divert the water, but a more long-term solution is needed. Councillor Coyle says the recent incident on the road is a clear indication of the urgency of the situation.
One very near miss, yeah. Now, this is a 100-kilometre national primary road that we're talking about, and when there's any heavy rain at all, persistent rain, it's not just a stream of water, it's nearly like a river running down the road, and then it runs across the road. And back about 3 weeks ago, we got a phone call to say that a car had aquaplaned on the road and went across the road, and lucky enough there was nobody coming.
Councillor Mary-Therese Gallagher has announced she will not seek re-election. The Glenties councillor said in a statement that it's been an honour to serve the people of the county since 2007. She added it's the right time for someone else to come forward and represent the interests of workers and families in Donegal. She succeeded Donegal Deputy Pierce Doherty on the council, and he says she'll be greatly missed. Chair of the Oireachtas Media Committee says it will examine whether to compel the former Director General of RTE to appear before the committee. Dee Forbes won't appear as part of the RTE delegation before the committee today, where it will discuss the report into Toy Show the Musical. Ms Forbes has yet to take questions from either Media Committee or the Public Accounts Committee to date, citing illness. However, Media Committee Chair Neith Smith says many of those behind the musical have questions to answer.
Very conscious that today's deliberation is about Toy Show the Musical, and the key people whose brainchild and vanity project this became are not in the room, which seems a bit of a farce. Some have given personal reasons. Dee Forbes, as you know, has presented a sick note, but there's no sick notes presented by anybody else, just unavailable. It's certainly something we'll consider into the future, into the very near future, about compatibility with those people.
2 water outage notices have been issued this morning in Donegal due to repairs to a burst water main. Works in Rann and surrounding areas are scheduled to take place until 6 o'clock this evening. Meanwhile, those around Ballinhead will take place until 3 o'clock. Uisce Éireann recommend you allow 2 to 3 hours after the estimated restoration time for your supply to fully return. Looking now to weather, cloudy with outbreaks of rain and drizzle this morning. The rain will clear away for a time this afternoon with some hazy sunshine developing. Mild and muggy with highs of 11 to 13 degrees in a southerly breeze. That's all for now from Highland Radio News. Back again at 10 o'clock.
After a long, hard day, treat yourself to something luxurious. Your drive home. The sleek new Nissan X-Trail has a dreamy, luxurious interior and is now available with e-Power, Nissan's unique hybrid driving system that lets you experience the pleasure of electric driving without the need to plug in. And it's available in 5 or 7 seats, so even the school run feels like a spa break. The all-new Nissan X-Trail with e-Power. Drive it to believe it. Book your test drive today at your local Nissan dealer. Nissan. Innovation that excites.
And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest. The 9 to Noon Show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Hello and a very good morning to you. 7 minutes past 9, Wednesday, the 14th of February. You're very welcome along to the 9 till Noon Show. And we have a busy show for you as always. Lots of features, lots of things to keep you informed and entertained whilst we're on the birthday train too, though. A big happy birthday to another important member of staff here, Canis Wilson. It was his birthday yesterday. Not divulging his age. No, we didn't divulge Lee's, so why should we? They're both young fellas. But another big happy birthday to Canis Wilson, of course. Works in production here and also very familiar to lots of you on a Saturday morning as well. Right, the lines are open for anything you want to talk about. Birthday requests are good too, you know. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text. You can send your voice notes to that number as well on WhatsApp, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000 or email comments at highlandradio.com. And because of the day that's in it, it's St Valentine's Day, maybe you have a story you wish to share with us, a story of love. Maybe you've been married for 50 years or 40 years, or in this day and age 10 years is a bit of a milestone. What is the secret to your success? Maybe someone proposed to you in an imaginative way. What a way to sort of spread your love on St Valentine's Day with telling your story on Highland Radio. You can do it text, you can do it come on, talk to me, whichever way you prefer to do it. You know, flowers are nice, chocolate's nice. Don't know what guy, whatever women get fellas. I don't know what happens there. I do, I just can't remember. That sounds like I'm saying I don't get stuff. That's not true either. But anyway, I'm getting myself into a hole I can't get out of. The point being, if you've got a love story to share with us, a romantic proposal, whatever it might be, please feel free to do so. A lot of people are single, so St. Valentine's Day means different things for different people. But if you're happy and you're in love, why not celebrate that too? Share it with us. And what a way to spread love and romance to your special other by telling us the story of your success, how you met, how you got together. Do you have an interesting story about how you met each other? Maybe you met each other 20 years ago and then bumped into each other and it was love again at first sight. We want to hear your beautiful love stories. So send them in to us, 086 60 25,000, 086 60 25,000, or give us a call in 07491 25,000. And if there's a particular, you know, if something really catches our ears and eyes and our hearts, maybe we can come up with something for you. All right, okay. So that's part of what we want from you today. We could call that sort of our off-topic texting, if you wish. Talk to us about love and your love story. Okay, let's go to the newspapers this morning. The star of Maureen Bradley continues to rise. The Finn Valley Voice tells us that Ballybofey's Maureen Bradley has struck a chord in the music world, earning her first accolade from Ticketmaster. At just 17 years old, she's been named the Irish Rising Star for 24, marking a significant milestone in her expanding career. On to the nationals. The Irish Times this morning. There's been a hardening of the Irish government's criticism of Israel's actions in Gaza, with Taoiseach Leo Varadkar saying it's become blinded by rage, and Minister for Enterprise Simon Coveney suggesting it is behaving like a rogue state. The rhetoric from Dublin comes amid fears that Israel will invade the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where more than 1 million war refugees are holed up in temporary shelters, and it's already been pretty much indiscriminately bombing that area, and I'm sure it was no coincidence that some of those actions coincided with the Super Bowl, where an awful lot of eyes in America were on that, and elsewhere people were asleep. And I do note, and it's, you know, when we see what's going on, and it's horrendous what is going on, particularly, not particularly, with civilians and children, the amount of children that have very sadly been killed, and people try and find a way to protest it, and a lot of people want to express their anger. And I do note a thing going around on social media, and it's well meant, about boycotting the Eurovision because Israel's in it, but that's ages away, and this is happening right now. And between now and Israel, God only knows how many innocent civilians, women and children included, will be wiped from the face of this earth in Israelis' actions. So I don't know, maybe I know people want something to do, a way to express themselves, but the Eurovision perhaps is part of it, but certainly not what the totality of what people should be doing if they want to express their disgust with what's going on. Egyptian officials reported some progress in talks held in Cairo on yesterday in an effort to reach a ceasefire and a release of some of the 134 hostages captured during the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, which was a horrendous act as well, by the way. But a breakthrough is still not imminent. And quite interesting, yesterday a big package of aid was okayed. It's a halfway there in America for Ukraine, for Taiwan, and also for Israel. The Toy Store music, I'm going to read this because it's on the front of all the papers. I've kind of lost interest in it, and I was flicking through the stations this morning and it came on and I switched over. But anyway, as I say, it's not up for me to sort of editorialise what people are interested in, and it seems to be the front of all the papers. RTE's board is set to blame management at the broadcaster for withholding information about Toy Show the Musical during another committee grilling today. The board will also admit failing to ask questions about the debacle, which cost the licence fee payer, the taxpayer, $2.3 million. And TDs will be told the board apologises for the serious deficiencies in governance in RTE, but the finger of blame will be firmly pointed at RTE management for the musical flop. Appearing at the Oireachtas Media Committee, RTE board chair Sunini Raleigh will refer to an investigation into the musical. Now, I think ultimately whoever is there to hold management responsible has to take a fair deal of responsibility as well. But anyway, I don't think ignorance in this case is a defence. Those comments by Maria Walsh, MEP, Oldstale and Pale. I was off yesterday and the day before, and thanks to Donal, of course, as always, expertly sitting in and covering. But they got a lot of traction. They're still in the papers today. Micheál Martin, as I say, this is in the Mail. Micheál Martin yesterday defended his decision to appoint a man as his party's director of referendums, saying Fianna Fáil was not going to exclude men from any form of deliberations in public life. Junior Sports Minister and Meath East TD Thomas Byrne has been given the role for the upcoming referendums. The votes will be held on March 8th to amend Ireland's constitution. The first is on whether the constitution should be altered to extend the definition of family beyond only those based on marriage to include durable relationships. relationships. The second is on whether to delete a reference to the role and duties of women in the home and replace it with a new article placing an obligation on the state to strive to support the provision of care by families. There have been some eyebrows raised within the party at Mr Byrne's appointment, with Fine Gael's appointing Heather Humphreys as its own director. But I think, at the end of the day, I think men have a much to say in these issues. As women, so it's the best person for the job. I hope at some point we move past debating things just purely based on gender. But anyway, he goes on a little in that article to reject the Maria Walsh's claims that Fianna Fáil is male, pale and stale. Okay, the Children's Hospital getting a lot of coverage as well. The Sun this morning, the government won't be handing over any more money for the new National Children's Hospital, the Taoiseach has claimed. But the vow came after the Cabinet agreed another €500 million boost to bring the total bill up to €2.24 billion. The cost of the National Children's Hospital in Dublin has tripled since the plan was first published. The opening of the hospital has also been delayed several times, with Leo Varadkar previously claiming as Health Minister it would be open by 2020, but it might be open next year. And it's an awful lot of money, $2.24 billion. But then again, there's an awful lot of money in this country bandied around on different things. Some of it, very important, some of it not so much. It's an incredible overspend. It is ridiculous. Some might argue the hospital is in the wrong place. But if it is a state-of-the-art hospital that's going to save children's lives, and I'm sure, very sadly, from Donegal and from all over the country, parents and guardians will end up at that facility praying that their children, come through whatever illnesses they may have. If it's tooled up to give them the best opportunity to save young people's lives, $2.24 billion is a lot of money. And I'm not in any way defending it, but on a scale of 1 to 5 things you might be angry that 2 or 3 billion euros have been spent on, one that sort of saves children's lives, is it not the worst? I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm just saying. RTE has refused to say if the word Satan is hidden in Ireland's Eurovision Song Contest entry after Bambi Thug suggested that there were concealed occult messages in the track. This is in the Star today. The non-binary performer, which is an interesting clarification, because I don't think really it would be normal to refer to someone's gender in an article, but here we are anyway. The non-binary performer, who has said their life goal is to make everybody leave all other religions and join witchcraft, was chosen to represent us at the competition with their song Doomsday Blue. Bambi Thug referred to the song in an interview with RW magazine last year and talked about speaking in tongues under the beat, speaking backwards and hiding spells using occult language. A section of the Eurovision song features a second voice appearing to say Satan repeatedly when played backwards. Okay, is that enough to see it disqualified? Not by Europe, but by us? Or do people really care about that? I did listen to some of a Galway priest speaking a few days ago, very passionately about it. He wasn't happy at all. And he says, what did he say? The country's gone to the dogs. Does that bother you? Have you a view? 086 60 25,000. The Irish Mirror. Taoiseach Leo Varadkar's accused Sinn Féin of desperation as they called for the TV licence fee to be abolished and those who haven't paid the fee to be granted an amnesty. The motion from the opposition, which was debated in the Dáil last night, called for direct exchequer funding to be introduced for the national broadcaster and other forms of public service broadcasting. Speaking on his way into Cabinet yesterday morning, the Taoiseach said he profoundly disagreed with the proposal. But, is it worth the controversy, I wonder? Because, it's not that long ago that the government was dishing out, hundreds of millions of euro for electricity for people. 460 odd million was given to people to help pay with their electricity. Is it really worth all this debate for 150 million annually from the government, rather than all the aggro of trying to claw it in, catch people who evade it, bring people to court who don't pay it? As I say, there's been big bills paid by the government before. Why not take that one on and put it to bed once and for all? It's getting kind of boring, I think, the whole conversation now. Anyway, 086 60 25,000 WhatsApps and texts. If you want to watch the programme, if that suits you, you can watch us on your big screen, your smart TV, or your Fire Stick or Android Google TV. Go to the YouTube app and go to Highland Radio Ireland. You can watch us there, as many of you do every day. Really appreciate it. 1 million live minutes viewed every single month of this show, so we really appreciate your support. You can watch us too on Facebook, Highland Hub, Highland News and Sport, and on X, Highland Radio. Rightio, let us take a break, and we're going to be back with business news a little earlier than usual this morning, but Chris is going to be joining us in just a few moments.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today.
The way you eat a cream egg says everything about you. If you eat yours with a teaspoon, that means you like things just so. You turn up the TV in even numbers. You pronounce chorizo, chorizo. And if you find a shirt you like, you buy 10. Search Cream Egg Test to find out who you really are. Cadbury Cream Egg. How do you eat yours?
All you need to make your house a home at Patterson's The Hall Lifford. From garden furniture to kitchens, sofas and dining sets, all under one roof. Need a new mattress? Why not visit our sleep centre on the first floor? With a large range of quality beds and mattresses in stock and ready for collection or delivery. Relax in our coffee shop serving hot lunches daily. Open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Patterson's Kitchens and Interiors, The Hall Lifford.
Are you ready to elevate your driving experience? Look no further than iMotors, your only Nissan dealership in the Northwest. The Nissan X-Trail has been crowned Large SUV of the Year. That's right, it's not just an SUV, it's an award-winning experience on wheels. Available in 4-wheel drive and a 7-seater. Visit us today at imotors.ie to find out more.
House to Home Bridgend, Donegal. Our modest front door opens onto 2 floors of Irish-made furniture, suites, beds, mattresses, dining and occasional furniture. Step into our showroom and see how we can transform your house into a home. House to Home furniture, flooring, slide ropes and interiors, Bridgend, Donegal.
Donegal County Council is inviting applications for funding under the Regional Festivals and Participative Events Programme 2024. The closing date is the 23rd of February. Programme guidelines and application form can be accessed on the Donegal County Council website and social media, or by phoning 074 91 539 00.
Business Matters in association with the Faculty of Business at ATU Donegal. For a career in financial governance, consider the Level 9 MA in Governance and IT in Financial Services. Call 9186206 or email donald.hannigan@atu.ie today.
Okay, it is a little earlier than usual. Business Matters with Chris Ashmore. Good morning to you, Chris. We're going to get a bit of business news off you and look forward to the podcast, which is live right now. How are you keeping?
Very good, Greg.
Rightio. So, let's see. A report out this week about global organic milk.
Yes, this is a report. It's about the global organic milk market. It's estimated to increase by about 10% between now and 2030. Now, this latest report mentions a number of major players in the market, and one of the companies mentioned is the Donegal Investment Group, which is listed on the Irish Stock Exchange. So good news for them. It shows they're in a market that is expanding, and the report notes that growing consumer awareness about health, environmental sustainability and animal welfare is driving the demand for organic milk.
All right. Another report giving, is it a positive outlook for the economy this year?
Yes. The Ernst & Young, it's called the Economic Eye report, forecasting Irish GDP to rise by 2.2% in this year. Now, interesting, it just notes comparing Ireland with other economies, we're actually going quite well. The Euro area forecast to grow 0.9%, the UK 0.9%, United States 2.1%, so we're above all of them. And inflation for the year, the forecast there is 3%. and 2% next year. So on a downward trend for inflation. So that's good.
Yeah, nearest neighbours, good news on their inflation numbers today. They were expecting it to go up, but static at 4%, which is good news, I suppose, for the British. Right, Donegal ETB, what have they got coming up?
Yeah, Donegal ETB, they have a big further education and training fair which takes place at the end of the month in the Radisson Hotel in Letterkenny on Wednesday, February the 28th. It's aimed at school leavers and employers, and then on Thursday the 29th, geared towards those seeking education and employment opportunities. And, you know, this is an appropriate cue for our first clip from the Business Matters programme this week. There are so many courses out there, Greg. Now, Dervla Kelly, she's the Enterprise Engagement Officer with the Donegal Enterprise and Training Board. And it's only when you actually talk to her you realise just how much is going on. And significantly, there are an awful lot of courses out there that are fully funded. So if a company is sending somebody out, the company's not going to be out any money. They're also very keen to talk with industry and businesses to see what the latest trends are, where the demand is. So it's all evolving, adapting to current needs. And she has explained to me during the programme just what is out there and available.
We listen and respond to the needs of businesses. I think it's really important to listen to what people want and need around upskilling and reskilling. And I suppose what we want to do is add value to the workplace, to businesses and to individuals, because we want to help them advance in their careers and stretch and grow. So this training could be anything from digital skills to Microsoft skills to leadership to project management. And we also offer certified training from levels 1 to 6 on the National Qualifications Framework. I suppose the beauty of it all is it's fully funded. But the cornerstone, and this is really important, is that employees are released during paid working time.
And you have a second guest on the pod this week?
Yes, a man you're very familiar with, Sean Quinn, Head of Sales here at Highland Radio. We were speaking about the Hospitality Awards, which were held last Sunday in Jackson's Hotel. Huge number of nominations, a great night, and I think it'll be a date in the calendar going forward every year.
It was amazing, Chris. We did all the hard work pre-Christmas, and it definitely paid off because we got over 13,500 nominations, which was phenomenal. But what I was most impressed about was the diversity of it. It went right across the county. I don't think there was any part of Donegal that wasn't nominated. So it also was good for Highland Radio as a brand because it showed, you know, what the strength and depth of where we go and where people listen. So we had it in Jackson's Hotel, and we had 440 in the room for the evening. And that was a challenge for Jackson's as well because it was their peers that were in the room, but they got it right. They delivered above my expectations, which I was delighted at. And I think if you met people today or yesterday who were at the awards, I think they'll all say it was a brilliant night. And so yeah, and we had 47 winners in the room, but to me there was 440 winners in the room because everybody that was nominated, they're there for a reason because their customers recognise the quality and service that they provide on a daily basis.
Yeah, it was a good fun night, no doubt about that. And I think anything that gets 4,500 people out on a Sunday night and everyone seemed to have a great night, it's pretty impressive too. But it's a testament to the quality of the product that we in this county produce. Like there are businesses, most of the businesses in there, they could have won every award and you couldn't have said, well, no, that couldn't be that hotel of the year and that hotel of the year. You know what I mean? But as it turned out, the judges had a really tough decision and, there was some big winners on the night. But any of our fantastic hotels, restaurants or bars could have cleaned the boards and you could have made a strong argument for it. And I think that's really, as I say, a testament to the great businesses that we have in this county and the work that they do and the economy, supporting the economy, Chris. So there's that and so much more besides coming up on the Business Matters podcast. It's live right about now on highlandradio.com and you can stream it there, download it. It's also on Spotify and iTunes and it's played out live on Sunday, Chris.
That's right, after the 6 o'clock news. And if you want to contact me, the email address is businessmatters@highlandradio.com.
Rightio, thanks, Chris. Back with our next guest after these.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
We're driving the Citroën C4X on Dublin's most speed-bumped road, as voted by an online poll, to test Citroën's progressive hydraulic cushion suspension. The music is coming from a vinyl record playing on a record player set up in the back seat. Here comes a speed bump. Let's see if this record skips. Perfect. Went off without a scratch.
Book a test glide in a Citroën today. Visit citroen.ie.
Well, Grace, how are you today?
I'm good. I've just been down to the Made to Measure Fireplaces showroom in Creasla. They have an incredible selection of over 40 colours for kitchen worktops. And guess what? For a limited time, they're offering a 40% discount on any electric fire when you purchase a worktop there.
40%? That's an amazing deal, Grace.
Absolutely. And trust me, if the discount alone doesn't sway you, their huge selection of fireplaces, stoves, wood pellet burners, beams and stone cladding certainly will.
Contact Made to Measure Fireplaces Creasla on 074 91 38 365 on Facebook, Instagram and on mtmfireplaces.ie.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us what. The Lotto jackpot is an estimated €3.5 million. Play responsibly in store, in app, or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Discover comfort with iHeating and Cooling, your trusted heat pump engineers and Mitsubishi approved service providers in Donegal. We design, install and maintain cutting edge heating systems. Build a lasting relationship with us through annual service and comprehensive after sales support. Contact us for a free consultation on low cost, low carbon heating solutions. Visit iheatingandcooling.ie today.
Do you know what suits a suitcase? Suits a suitcase like me. What's suitable for a dutiful piece of luggage like me? Shannon Airport knows precisely what exactly suits me nicely. So find out concisely at shannonairport.ie.
Affordable parking, easy access, seamless security and dream holiday destinations like Lanzarote, Paris and New York for a hassle-free airport experience for you and your suitcase. Start your dream holiday at shannonairport.ie.
Now, a caller says, hi, the RTE scandal continues alongside the Children's Hospital. No accountability. Why have all these investigations if no one gets punished? Surely the people responsible in RTE should not get paid with massive pensions. I want to see people held to account to regain my trust. Okay, well, that's... some would argue you're in the wrong country for that. A few people upset that €800,000 plus was spent bringing in pets for Ukrainians, yet the Taoiseach knows nothing about it. So how is this going to be dealt with? Greg, why would the government spend over €800,000 of Irish taxpayers' money to bring pets over from Ukraine? The mind boggles. I remember when it was first mooted that pets were coming in or would be allowed to be brought here. And obviously once the figure was added, subsequently, that's when people seem upset about it. But there wasn't much talk about it at the time. Parking at Kilmacrenna National School. At Kilmacrenna National School, there are double yellow lines in front of the school, so you can't park. Any parking at the school is used by staff. There's no word of ramps or lollipop people. The speed of the cars is terrible. The double yellow lines were only put in yesterday. What are parents to do? I think I caught Donald reading that message out yesterday. If you have a view on that, let us know. All right, we're going to be joined very shortly by Peter Burke, Minister of State with responsibility for EU affairs and defence. Indeed, I think he can join us now. Are you there, Peter? Good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Thanks so much for joining us. We're talking about an invitation to voluntary organisations and civil society groups, educational bodies and local authorities, an invite to apply for funding. Talk to us about this strand of funding. How much is available?
Yeah, this is for Communicating Europe, which the essence is trying to really show younger students and indeed people that are part of civic society groups the value of Europe and what Ireland's place is in it and what we can get out of being European citizens. And last year we had a very strong take-up in about €350,000 for a series of projects, podcasts. A lot of students had displays and galleries over that applied for that were successful. So we're doing the same thing again this year, about €200,000 for voluntary groups and civil society groups and €150,000 for local authorities to apply for, to really get to the essence in a very important year, which is the 20th anniversary of enlargement, when 10 countries came into the EU. So it's a very important initiative, and hopefully will, in the year that we have European elections upcoming, will give people a chance to really see what the value of European citizenship is.
I think sometimes the government can be its own worst enemy in relation to this. And if you bear with me, I'll try and explain, because, you know, we'd speak to MEPs quite a lot on Highland Radio, and I know they do struggle to get airtime and coverage elsewhere. But speaking to them privately, both government and non-government, what often happens is Europe gets blamed, you know, when things aren't going great. And if there is a win in Europe, often the national government takes credit for it. Do you take my point? It's well intended. I don't mean it to be argumentative or otherwise, but Minister, I think that's part of the problem here, that the government tries to take the credit for the wins in Europe and blame the EU when things go wrong.
Well, my job of a huge job of work really to point out the benefits of Europe, and I would be very clear that the overwhelming benefits of being part of a population of 500 million marketplace, an institution that transformed Ireland over the last 50 years. But I think the critical thing is, Greg, some politicians often like to give Europe a kick with the hope that it never bites back, because it really has transcended our relationship with civil society, our infrastructure. If you look in the last 50 years, people on average are living a decade longer than they were when we joined the EU. We have the single market, which transformed our economy, and as you well know, the infrastructure and the common agricultural policy has touched every corner of, as well as cohesion, which has been a significant game changer in terms of EU funds. So it has really made so much for Ireland, and it has guaranteed peace in Europe. And that's amazing, that a transnational body, which each of those 27 democracies keep their own identity, but yet together and stand together on certain key issues like trade, like trying to get a common view on so many of the geopolitical issues that face the world. But you'll always have politicians giving out either about the government or about Europe in general. And that's just, unfortunately, common ordinary day politics and will happen. But I have a job to really highlight the benefits of Europe, and we'll have to try and keep doing that.
I know, but would you take the point that maybe sometimes everyone needs to stay on message in that regard?
Absolutely. And I think the European Union elections now forthcoming this year will be a key point in that relationship, that people, when they're looking at candidates, you know, it's important that candidates really share European values, that whole value that we're stronger together, that we're more united when we stand strong on, you know, major issues. Obviously, everyone is going to have disagreements on, you know, policy issues, and that's normal, that's healthy, that's a democracy. And you see across Europe how governments change and viewpoints change. But at the end of the day, this is a peace project that comes together, joins nations. And like we had during COVID, when we could procure a vaccine in record time, you know, if we were on our own as a small island with 5 million people, we'd never be able to have that opportunity to join collective nations and procure that vaccine so quick. And outside of COVID as well, when we could get huge significant funding at lower cost rates, when the government could put all our businesses into life support during COVID, then take out the jump leads and get them going again when the economy took off like a rocket. Europe plays a central role in all of that, and the European leaders try and ensure that citizens' lives are improving. But absolutely, Greg, there are always going to be problems. I think we can never deny that.
Yeah, of course. And you would also be conscious that there's often a greater bit of work to be done in areas like the Northwest, where there are many within the farming and fishing industries that wouldn't have a great deal of time for the EU. But that's the other side of it. €350,000, €200,000 for community and voluntary organisations, 150 grand for local government projects. Is this nationwide, Peter?
Absolutely it is, and we expect a good take-up. And there has been over the last few years that this initiative has been going. And it's great to see school children, especially, Greg, primary schools. We've had so many primary schools that are now involved in the Blue Star initiative, which really opens up young people's minds about Europe and their place as European citizens. But there have been lovely projects that have come through and visits that have been intertwined with that to either the Dáil or the Department of Foreign Affairs that we can organise as well. So we're really out there open for students that want to get their ideas together. And it's lovely to see primary school kids with huge ideas about Europe, and especially you can have that place for, you know, voluntary groups as well that have ideas or they want to do a showcase or a catalogue or a history of, like we had with 50 years anniversary of being members of the European Union. There were some great projects that really took a snapshot of potholes that characterised how Ireland transformed over those 50 years. So all those type of projects are welcome.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting, actually, because there was a debate amongst teenagers in Donegal towards the end of last year about Europe and the future of Europe and what Europe means to you. And it was all about encouraging them to sort of care about Europe and understand what they're doing. But some of the amazing arguments that were made by these amazing young people, 16 and 17-year-olds, was, I can't vote in the upcoming elections, so I can't engage. I don't feel I can engage because it's not really for me, which, as I say, was a really, really strong argument that was made there. Would you be in favour of 16, 17-year-olds being able to vote in EU elections going forward?
Well, that would have to be a government decision.
Yeah, but you have an opinion, Minister. Yeah, but you have an opinion. What's your opinion?
I wouldn't be 100% committed to reducing it. It's a very difficult call. I know there's a strong case has been made before reduce it down to as far as 16. I think that might be slightly low. 17 potentially I could concur with. But I do think that when you see young people and they say, what is our place in Europe? Those young people now can have an access to free travel right across 27 countries that their forebears 50 years ago could never have imagined. They'd have to get visas. They can have the same currency in the majority of those countries. When they qualify, be it an apprenticeship or a degree or whatever method of qualifications, that's going to be recognised right around the 27 states under the qualifications directives. So the opportunities that those people you refer to have by being a European citizen is incredible. It's no resemblance of what it was 50 years ago. Young people need to realise this, that they're in the land of opportunity by being part of the European Union, by their EU membership and their citizenship and what that means for them.
How do people apply, Minister? Or groups or individuals? How do they apply?
Yes, people can apply to our website. There's a link on the DFA website through...
All right, DFA website. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
That is Minister of State with responsibility for EU affairs and defence, Minister Peter Burke. That's funding of €350,000. Hey, make an application. Why not? And go to the DFA website. There's a link there. 350k will spread quite thinly across the country, though. I thought that might have been specific for the Northwest. But anyway, there it is. Rightio, just before we take a break, we got sent a poem about Valentine's Day, St Valentine's Day today, in case you forgot. How dare you, if you've got someone special in your life. Or maybe you celebrate being single. Want to hear from you too. Maybe today is a great day. You go, suckers, I'm on my own here. I can do whatever I like. I don't have to run it past anyone. I can just do whatever I like. So maybe for a lot of people, Valentine's Day is a day to celebrate your singleness and your contentment in that. Maybe you're in a throuple. 086 60 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text number. We want to hear your love stories, okay? And maybe we'll come up with a prize for the best love story out there. If you've been together for a long time, what's the secret of your success? Maybe you met in an interesting way, whatever it might be. Just to mix up the tone of the show a little bit, let us know. 086 60 25,000. Now, just a quick mention of our competition. We are running it in association with the Hollywood Hotel. One lucky winner is going to win a cracking prize. Canis Wilson has the details. Stay right where you are.
This week we have a fantastic end-of-week prize courtesy of the Hollywood Hotel for one lucky winner, which includes one night bed and breakfast for two people at the Hollywood Hotel Bundoran with champagne and chocolates on arrival, followed by a spa treatment each in the Hollywood's luxurious spa at Orchids. Finish off your evening with a 4-course dinner and a bottle of wine in their Watermelon restaurant, plus full use of the Blue River Leisure Centre swimming pool and Canadian hot tub. Your spa experience includes a private session in the outdoor hot tub and sauna, and a 60-minute spa treatment, each inspired to give you a captivating night's sleep. Beginning with a serene back massage, followed by a beautifully soothing scalp, hand and arm massage. To begin with a chance of winning this fantastic prize on Friday, simply answer this question. What city is often called the City of Love and is home to iconic sites such as the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame Cathedral? Text or WhatsApp your answer, name and address to 086 60 25,000.
OK, we're joined on the programme by Councillor Mary-Therese Gallagher of Sinn Féin, who will not be seeking re-election in the upcoming local elections. It has been announced today. Mary-Therese, thank you so much for joining us and good morning to you.
Morning, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, mixed emotions.
Glad to have the news out, though, I suppose.
That's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just the right time for me and my family at the minute to make this announcement and to give, I suppose, somebody who'll be coming in to fight an election in the area a chance to make their own name.
Have you been mulling this one over for a while, or maybe you have had your mind made up for a while?
Yeah, but yes, I have my mind made up for quite a while over the last 6 months anyway. So as I say, it's been a long thing when you have it in your mind and informing people who have supported you over the years and your local community. Like it's a long time to be a public representative. I think at the time I was the youngest in the council when I went in. So I suppose I grew up in it, and I have made great friendships and across the political divide. I would hope I got on with most, and yeah, it's, as I say, it's a day of mixed emotions. It's a day for looking forward, but also a day of looking back at all the people that were there supporting you over the years that are not there anymore, and. It's tough in one way, but it's the right decision for me at this stage.
What's your takeaway from your 17 years? I mean, there's an awful lot of highs, an awful lot of lows. It's especially as all of our lives change and we develop and our families grow and what have you. Has it been a tough 17 years, or what's your overriding emotions about it?
Yeah, I suppose every councillor or any public representative have different things, that they're interested in, and I loved the policy side of it. I loved developing policy and, seeing the outworkings of it, and I know how important it is, because that's actually what affects people's lives. There's a lot of frustration, because an awful lot of the rules and regulations and laws that you want to change are national, so you're hamstrung in a way, both as an elected representative but also the staff. You were about Lifford for a long time yourself, Greg. You know what the atmosphere was like up there at times. There were good days, there were bad days, but as I look back now, there were an awful lot more good days, and there's been an awful lot of progress in Donegal County Council since the day I went into it. We have a power sharing agreement now that has lasted over 10 years, and I think that it has transformed the council, to be honest.
I think you've been involved in some of the. You've been involved in conversations on this programme about the life in politics as a woman, because it is different. I think also you've been involved in the women's Women in Politics platform as well. I mean, all things considered, do you feel it is a job you can recommend to a woman in this day and age with everything that's going on? I mean, since you started, arguably, the scrutiny, the abuse and to some extent the praise, it's gotten much worse. So is it a job that you could say to a fellow woman, yep, go ahead, you'll love it?
Yeah, well, the way I would describe it, it's like any job. There's good, there's bad, and there's the in between. And those are challenges. But what I have found, and I suppose it is the same whether you're in the county house at meetings or you're meeting people on the road, or people are ringing you up or whatever, those that shout the loudest are not the majority. And people can be nasty and all of that. They're all challenges, but what you can deliver and how you can help people out, like the community groups, the voluntary sector, the youth council, there is so much positive in your life when you are in the job, and sometimes the negative is elevated over what the actual positive is, Greg. So I suppose what I have tried to do over the last number of years, because of the situation that we found ourselves in the council with the negativity, I try to concentrate on on that, on the good stuff,
Yeah, of
on
course.
the delivery.
I think that's healthy in all aspects of life.
I think for any, I actually believe, I really believe that we need more women, because I think that an awful lot of the baggage or the I don't know the right word, Greg, to say to you, but
you don't have to choose them as carefully. Maybe today as you might have
anymore. Yeah,
a
lot of the animosity could be dealt with in a better way.
I get you.
Than what it is just a minute.
Is there any reform that may have happened? Because there's been talk about reform, about sort of getting a work-life balance, the long hours, the timings of the meetings, then things happening in the evenings. Is there any reform, do you think, could have happened over the course of this is completely hypothetical, that might have altered your decision? Do you know what I mean? If, rather than just talking about it, we had found a way that people could strike a better work-life balance and be an elected rep, is it possible you might not have made the decision if we'd have made those inroads?
I don't know. As I say, just where my family life is at the minute, it's the right decision for me.
Yeah.
It's the right decision for my family. That is really what it is. Like, I have had so much support over the years. I can give out of it. All of the things that you've mentioned there, that you were very rarely at home, and that's the same for every councillor. That is the same, and I do think that there are changes needed there. I suppose maybe a bit of understanding as well, maybe from the general public, of what the job is and what people can actually achieve for you and what people can do. But just at the minute, as I say, it's not really. I don't think there's a policy that could come in at any level, that would have changed my circumstances. And as I say, over the years, Greg, I think I would. And Donegal County Council, like, even from a party perspective, they put me forward as the whip of the party. I've sat on all of the, the CPGs, and I've headed up SPCs, and that was quite unusual, actually. To be honest with you, I think I may have been the first woman to take those positions on the council, and they're enjoyable roles, and women can do them better, as good or better than men. So, there is plenty of opportunity there, and there's plenty of opportunity to change people's lives. So I wouldn't be negative, Greg, in any way. I do. The challenges, I suppose, are very in your face, whereas, the good part of it, maybe not spoken about as much.
Yeah, okay. No, I get that. I understand. And that's unfortunately the way life often is. But we had an opportunity to focus on that today. Councillor Mary-Therese Gallagher, enjoy your, is it retirement? I don't know how you describe, but anyway,
retirement,
whatever else you're doing, I'm sure you'll be busy. I know you'll be busy with whatever you're doing. But thanks very much for your time.
And thank you,
right,
Greg, and thanks to Highland and all of the people who supported me over the years.
All right. Gormaigat. That is Councillor Mary-Therese Gallagher, who has announced formally, and it had been broadly anticipated, has announced formally that she'll not seek re-election in the upcoming local elections. That's two Sinn Féin councillors now who have opted to go a different path rather than seek re-election. OK, back with more on the 9 till noon show shortly.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
After a long, hard day, treat yourself to something luxurious. Your drive home. The sleek new Nissan X-Trail has a dreamy, luxurious interior and is now available with e-Power, Nissan's unique hybrid driving system that lets you experience the pleasure of electric driving without the need to plug in. And it's available in 5 or 7 seats, so even the school run feels like a spa break. The all-new Nissan X-Trail with e-Power. Drive it to believe it. Book your test drive today at your local Nissan dealer. Nissan. Innovation that excites.
At Hickey, Clark and Langan Insurance Brokers, they compare quotes from all the leading insurers, so you get a great price. Home, motor and van, farm, holiday home, travel and liability insurance, they quote them all. So if the worst happens, you're covered. For a competitive insurance quote today, call Hickey, Clark and Langan on 9126688 or pop into their office at Ballymacool, Letterkenny. Hickey Clark and Langan General Insurances Limited, trading as Hickey Clark and Langan, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. The County Donegal Blackface Sheep Breeders Association, in conjunction with the Slieve League Blackface Sheep Breeders Association and the Brock of Perth Blackface Sheep Breeders Association, will hold an in-lamb female and dry hugget sale at Ballybuffet and Stranraer Mart this Saturday, the 17th of February at 12 noon. The sale will be available to view and bid on mardi.ie.
Have you discovered the Donegal Boardwalk Resort Restaurant yet? Open every Wednesday to Sunday. Take leisurely strolls along the boardwalk and treat yourself to light bites, hearty lunches or comforting dinners. Complete your stay in our cosy lodges. Explore more at donegalboardwalkresort.ie. Unwind, dine and savour the moment at Donegal Boardwalk Resort, Carrigart.
For all your training needs, Northwest Forest Services Training Department Ballybuffet offer a wide range of training courses from training bodies such as NPTC City and Guilds, QQI Lantra and ABA International. They also now do quad courses in line with the new guidelines and regulations for all quad users. If you have a group, they can come to you. For a full list of training courses and availability, contact Northwest Forest Service Ballybuffet on 074 913233.
Highland Radio weather updates brought to you by Grant. Building a new home? Choose Grant's A++ rated Airona air-to-water heat pump and Uflex underfloor heating. Visit grant.ie.
There's a funny misty mizzly day coming into work this morning. I wonder, was it the same way you are? But that rain that was about will clear away for a time this afternoon, with perhaps some hazy sunshine developing later. However, another band of rain will spread over this area during this evening. Mild, quite muggy, and highs of 11 to 13 degrees in a southerly breeze. What does muggy mean? But anyway, it's a weather, apparently it's a weather phrase. We had an email in. I'm a construction worker, finding it hard to get here. Hard to get work here. I do metal stud, MF ceilings, plasterboards, Rigitone boards, fire tape and joining. They're going to pay all that to get people back here. I'd love to see where they're going to put them. So you're looking, I thought there's a ton of work around. This is an initiative, isn't it? And it was discussed when I was off about come home and work in construction. And as soon as, and I didn't want to be negative, there's plenty of work. I thought of that come home and work in our hospitals thing. Kathy on Facebook. Good morning, Greg. I watched the awards on Sunday night. It was fantastic. Thanks to all involved. For any of you that missed it, we'll be getting the full show up on our website in the not too distant future. Happy birthday, Lee, coming in from Kathleen. We have Pedroa, who's watching the best show live and clear inside Indianapolis in Tanaso. All right, thanks very much. Good to have you on board. I thought you watched on X, but you're over on Facebook now. Anyway, good to have you wherever you're watching. Welcome back, says Bernie. Thank you. Really appreciate that, Bernie. Good to be back. A second family here amongst listeners and watchers. It feels great to be here. Happy birthday, Lee Gooch. I can't believe you had trouble chatting up the ladies. I didn't buy that either. I think he was fishing for compliments there, wasn't he? And lots of happy birthdays for Lee. And there's another happy birthday for another person here. Tanya Rasher. Happy birthday to my lovely sister Tanya Rasher. That comes in from Lisa Gallagher. Okay, you are tuned to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. It's a busy couple hours on the way. Just to remind you that we want to hear your love stories as well. As I said earlier on, how you met. Maybe it was something particularly nice. Maybe a lovely proposal. Maybe you've been together for a long time and you can give us the secret to your success. Conversely, maybe you're a happy, contented single. And this is a great day for you because you can celebrate your freedom and individuality. Whichever way, there's reasons, I suppose, to be happy and sad for all of us. Let us know, 086 60 25,000. We'll be back after the news and obituary notices.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
The way you eat a cream egg says everything about you. If you eat yours in small nibbles, that means you're real deep. You can sense when someone's about to text you. Your dreams mean stuff, and you keep all your birthday cards in a special box. Search Cream Egg Test to find out who you really are. Cadbury Cream Egg. How do you eat yours?
In 1951, Michael and Maureen O'Hara baked their first loaf in Foxford, County Mayo. Now O'Hara's is launching Baker 51 in their honour. An authentic sourdough loaf made pure and simple with no added yeast. 72 years in the baking. One bite and you'll see why true taste takes time.
Looking to upgrade your home? Ready to dine in style and lounge in comfort? Well, get ready for our sofa and dining sale happening now at Easy Living Furniture. Score incredible deals on sofas, dining sets and more. From sleek and modern to cosy and traditional, we have the perfect pieces to match your style and budget. The spectacular sofa and dining sale is now on in Easy Living Furniture, Crescent Link Retail Park.
If you aren't quite ready to drive a full EV, you'll be going in the right direction with the Mazda CX-5. This SUV comes with fuel-saving Mazda M hybrid technology and a 6-year warranty you'll find across the entire Mazda range. Test drive the 241 Mazda range at McGinley Motors Mazda Letterkenny. Mazda, crafted in Japan.
In southern Malawi, communities are facing extreme floods followed by extreme dry spells. Melita is a single mother who farms to support her 4 children. In 2023, a record cyclone ripped across her farm, with rainwaters destroying crops and damaging her home. When her farm faced a withering dry spell later in the year, Melita was left wondering how she would access safe water or feed her family again. Throkra is working with Melita and thousands more like her to adapt to the devastating effects of climate change. You can help them build a more secure future. Visit throkra.org or call 1-800-408-408. Together, we can make a lasting difference. This extreme weather report on Highland Radio was brought to you by Throkra.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, it's 10 o'clock. Donald Kavanagh at the news desk. Letterkenny Milford Municipal District has been told there could have been a tragedy on the N13 close to the school at Lurgy Brack recently after a car aquaplaned on surface water. Councillor Donald Coyle told a meeting this week that on heavy rain, water flows down the hill from the vicinity of the school toward the junction at Drummony, and he wants Transport Infrastructure Ireland to install a pipe in the area. He says the council has to go out and deploy sandbags to divert the water, but a more long-term solution is needed. Councillor Coyle says the recent incident on the road is a clear indication of the urgency of the situation.
One very near miss, yeah. Now, this is a 100-kilometre national primary road that we're talking about, and when there's any heavy rain at all, persistent rain, it's not just a stream of water, it's nearly like a river running down the road, and then it runs across the road. And back about 3 weeks ago, we got a phone call to say that a car had aquaplaned on the road and went across the road, and lucky enough there was nobody coming.
Councillor Mary Trace Gallagher has announced she will not seek re-election to Donegal County Council. The Glenties councillor said in a statement, "It's been an honour to serve the people of the county since 2007. She says it's the right time for someone else to come forward and represent the interests of workers and families in the area. She succeeded Donegal Deputy Pearse Doherty on the council when he was elected to the Dáil. He says she'll be greatly missed. Councillor Gallagher said on today's 9 till noon show that she's considering this move for some time.
I have my mind made up for quite a while, over the last 6 months anyway. It's been a long thing when you have it in your mind and informing people who have supported you over the years and your local community. Like at the time I was the youngest in the council when I went in, so I suppose I grew up in it and I have made great friendships across the political divide. I hope I got on with most.
The chair of the Oireachtas Media Committee says it will examine whether to compel the former Director General of RTE to appear before the committee. Dee Forbes won't be part of the RTE delegation appearing before the committee today, where it will discuss the report into Toy Show the Musical. Ms Forbes has yet to take questions from either the Media Committee or the Public Accounts Committee to date, citing illness. However, Media Committee Chair Niamh Smith says many of those behind the musical have questions to answer.
Very conscious that today's deliberation is about Toy Show the Musical and the key people whose brainchild and vanity project this became. are not in the room, which seems a bit of a farce. Some have given personal reasons. Steve Forbes, as you know, has presented a sick note, but there's no sick notes presented by anybody else, just unavailable. It's certainly something we'll consider into the future, into the very near future, about compatibility with those people.
3 water outage notices have been issued this morning in Donegal. Works in the Rann, Leck, Old Town, Oldbrook, Newbrook, Lismonaghan and New Mills areas of Letterkenny are set to take place until 6 o'clock this evening, while works in the vicinity of Malin Head should be finished by 3. 3 p.m. is also the projected end time for a valve installation programme in Bundoran. Further details on our website, highlandradio.com. Today marks the 43rd anniversary of the Stardust tragedy. 48 young people lost their lives when a fire broke out at the Artane nightclub in the early hours of Valentine's Day 1981. With more detail, here's Stephanie Rowan.
It's been 43 years since North Dublin became a sea of blue lights as emergency services rushed to the scene of the Stardust nightclub. A fire had broken out as around 800 young people were enjoying a night of music and dancing. 48 young people lost their lives. Family, friends and survivors then campaigned tirelessly for years, asking for fresh inquests to find out what happened. They finally began last April, where almost 400 witnesses have given evidence. The inquests have now reached their final stages before the jury begins considering its verdict.
Rather cloudy today with outbreaks of rain and drizzle this morning. That rain clearing for a time this afternoon. Some hazy sunshine may develop. However, later another band of rain will spread during the evening. Mild and quite muggy today. Highs of 11 to 13 degrees Celsius in a southerly breeze. Cloudy and mild with outbreaks of rain and drizzle later, but it'll clear away overnight. Winds falling light, allowing for mist and fog to form. That could be slow to clear. It'll be very mild tonight. Lows of 9 to 11 degrees Celsius. Cloudy with outbreaks of rain and drizzle tomorrow, persistent across the east and south. Rain gradually easing, but it'll stay rather cloudy with some mist and drizzle lingering. Mild again with highs of 11 to 13 degrees Celsius in light winds. And that's Highland Radio News. Back with news headlines again at 11 o'clock. Check all of today's news, of course, on our website, highlandradio.com. But for now, from the news team, good morning.
The obituary notices this Wednesday morning, February 14th. The death has taken place of Vincent Doherty, Clohan, Ballindrate, Lifford, reposing at his home today from 2 p.m. Funeral leaving his home on Friday at 10:20 for Requiem Mass in St Patrick's Church, Murlough at 11 a.m. Interment afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family time please from 10 p.m. until 12 noon. Requiem Mass can be viewed live via the parish webcam. The death has taken place of Jacob de Beck, late of 17 Glenpatrick, Donegal Road, Ballybuffet, reposing privately to family and friends at McGowan's funeral home, Drumbo Avenue, Stranorlar, leaving from there this morning at 10:45 a.m. for Mass of the Resurrection in the Church of Mary Immaculate at 11 a.m. Interment afterwards in Drumbo Cemetery, Stranorlar, house strictly private to neighbours and friends. Flowers welcome, donations in lieu of flowers if so desired to Cunov, care of any family member or Martin McGowan, McGowan's funeral home. Requiem Mass will be streamed live on the parish webcam. The death has occurred of Mary Brennan, Baker's Bush Court, Shelburne Road, Dublin 4, and formerly of Hillhead, Ardra. Remains are posing at McCabe's funeral home, Common Bridge, Ardra, today from 12 noon until 6 p.m. followed by removal at 6:15, going to the Church of the Holy Family, Ardra, for 6:30 to repose overnight. Funeral Mass at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, followed by interment in the adjoining cemetery. The death has taken place of Mary Doherty, Sean, Summerhill, Moville. Remains reposing at her late residence. Funeral leaving there tomorrow morning at 10:30, going to St Pius X Church, Moville, for Requiem Mass at 11 a.m, followed by burial afterwards in Baucan Cemetery, Kildare. Mary's Requiem Mass can be viewed live on the parish webcam. House private please from 10 o'clock tonight. The death has occurred of John McCool, 562 Ard McCool, Stranorlar, and formerly Derry City. Remains reposing at McCool's Chapel of Rest, Ballybuffet, today from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Rosary tonight at 9 o'clock. Funeral leaving there tomorrow morning at 10:30 for 11 a.m. Requiem Mass in the Church of Mary Immaculate, Stranorlar. Interment in Drumbo Cemetery. The Requiem Mass will be streamed live via the parish webcam. The death has taken place of Margot McColgan, St Jude's 20 Derry Road, Strabane. Requiem Mass is ongoing at the moment in the Sacred Heart Church, Derry Road, this morning. Interment afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. The Requiem Mass can be viewed live via the parish webcam. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
For when a right turn becomes a wrong turn. Get up to €70 off car insurance with An Post Insurance at onpostinsurance.ie or call us today. €70 or 20% discount will be applied, whichever is lower, subject to a minimum premium of €355 or €345, depending on policy underwriter. Applied consecutively for new customers only. Acceptance criteria, terms and conditions apply. One Direct Ireland Limited, trading as An Post Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. One Direct Ireland Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of An Post. Best price online.
And now, IMRO's 2023 Best Local or Regional News Programme, The Voice of the Northwest, the 9 till noon show with Greg Hughes.
Good morning to you. Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for continuing to listen. We're broadcasting across the Northwest on air and across the world online, and we've got people listening all over the place, and it's really good to have you on board. Thank you so very much indeed. And we're getting in some lovely Valentine's Day stories, by the way, so hopefully get a couple of listeners on air a little later on. Some of your comments. RTE can do what they like and the government will throw all the money they demand at them. Amazing. The Guardian not in there seizing files and carrying out a criminal investigation. A poor woman selling a few flowers on the streets of Letterkenny to feed her children will be going to Mountjoy. Greg, I'm just wondering if the people that haven't paid their TV licence get an amnesty. Do we, the people that have paid our licence fee, get our money back? What a very interesting question, because that is part of a Sinn Féin motion that was debated last night. I didn't just quite get the outcome of it. I presume it was defeated given the numbers in the Dáil. But part of their proposals was an amnesty for those that didn't pay their TV licence, and everything has to be fair. Would the people that paid for this year get a refund? I'm not sure if that formed part of the debate, but I think it's an excellent question. And someone's texted in, they're really quite angry, but I think it's best to address text so people are heard. So I'll read it and then I'll respond to it. Shame on you, Highland. One of the best broadcasters in the whole world has died, Steve Wright. Excuse me. One of the best broadcasters in the world has died, Steve Wright, and did you not even give him a mention? Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did hear this news yesterday evening. Very saddened to hear of anyone passing suddenly. I know he was on radio on Sunday and really quite sadly signed off saying, I'll see you next week. And such is life. Unfortunately, he has lost his life and he died suddenly at just 69 years of age with so much left to give. Very saddened to hear about it, generally speaking. The reason I didn't reference it is because I am not really very familiar with Steve Wright. I wouldn't have listened to him. I wouldn't be familiar with his work. And obviously, you attempt to get people on who know what they're talking about and someone who can pay a fitting tribute to someone. And that's some of the stuff we're working on. But me personally, I would have to have made it up because I'm very saddened to hear of his loss and my sympathy with his family and his fans and his friends. But I wouldn't have been familiar with him to pay a tribute. And that's just to be completely honest with you. I know he was incredibly influential, and I know he was a superstar DJ, which you don't really see much now anymore. But beyond that, unfortunately, I wouldn't have been able to pay a tribute fitting of him. Good morning, Greg. Leo Varadkar was questioned in the Dáil yesterday about the $800,000 paid for bringing refugees' pets into Ireland. He said he wasn't aware of this and would have to check it out. What does that tell you about this government? Thank you. A scam going around at the moment, by the way. I had a couple of messages on Facebook, which I don't mind at all. People run things past me if they're a wee bit nervous. A lot of people got a text this morning saying that they'd received a Garda fixed charge. And it reads as follows. You have a fine to pay. To avoid any penalty, please pay with your file number 578909 in this case. Now, it is a complete scam. A couple of things that will point that out to you, but you need to check a couple of things. Firstly, it's coming from a random mobile number, okay? It's a number that's cloned. It's people from outside the country doing this. It's a clone number. That's not in and of itself, because they can clone the local Garda station number if they wanted to put that effort in. But the website, fines-garda.com, it doesn't exist. It's been manufactured just to make it a little bit more realistic, but it's not. The Garda.ie is the website. Fines-garda.com, not an official website, so forget about it. Also, the Gardaí will not contact you in this fashion due to a fixed charge. So there's 3 good reasons, and all are present to prove to you that it's a scam. Delete it. Do not panic and go on to fines-garda.com, because as soon as you do, they'll start asking you to input your information, and they will clean you out. And they only need one of us to have a good day's work. They only need one of us to fall for that. So just let your friends and family know as well, if they don't listen to Ireland, that's a scam going about the place. Hi, Greg. 2.24 billion. How is this even possible? That's 2,240 million euro. If you could spend 1 million per day, it would still take 6.14 years to get to 2.24 million. And even 1 million a day is 41,670 euro per hour. If you can spend all in 24 hours, madness. It is when you break the numbers down. Leitrim County Council has issued High Court proceedings to stop asylum housing in hotels. They say planning permission was granted for tourism use, not asylum accommodation. The County Council should follow the example. I do think there's a move away from hotel accommodation, so maybe that would have been interesting a year back. But anyway, let's see. Hi, Greg. So what flag should we have up, Israel or Palestine? Because I still have up my Ukrainian flag. I understand what you're doing. I understand what you're saying with that comment. I don't think people would mind the money being spent on the Children's Hospital, but the main benefit just now are a company who could keep within their budget. Was there not a bit of a scandal about the company being away over budget but still picked? There's a lot. That whole project has been mired in scandal from almost the get-go. And happy 65th wedding anniversary to my wonderful wife, Madge Callahan, in Grove Hall, Ramelton. I love you as much today as the Valentine's Day I met you all those years ago. Lots of love to you, Madge, from your husband, Mickey. So Mickey and Madge, 65 years married today. They met on Valentine's Day. What a beautiful story. I need the love, people. I've plenty of love in my life, but I want more love. Bring it into me. Let me know. 086 60 25,000. Give us your love stories. We have a few coming up later. They're quite interesting, actually, and quite touching. And as well, don't leave out the singletons out there. You know, you can talk about how it's lovely to be single as well. Able to go to Mass to get your ashes on your own in peace. I don't know. It's horses for courses, isn't it? All right, let's take the bingo numbers and we'll be back with more quality content in just a couple of minutes.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Wednesday, the 14th of February. You're playing on the blue sheet. The reference number is S13. It's game number 7. The numbers are 87, 46, 21, 89, 37, 8, 3, 57, 4, and finally 14. Phone your claim to 9104833 before 8 tonight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland bingo information at highlandradio.com. Mike Denver in concert with guests Declan Ernie and Brendan Shine at Angrinnan Theatre, Letterkenny on Thursday, February 29th. Tickets on sale at Angrinnan Box Office. That's Mike Denver with Declan Ernie and Brendan Shine at Angrinnan Theatre, Letterkenny on Thursday, February 29th. Don't miss a great concert.
Nutrius Milk Replacer range, which includes NutriStart and NutriStart Plus, offers the best start to your calves this spring season. With 23% and 25% crude proteins, ideal for calf to beef and heifers rearing systems. Give your calves the best possible start. Available in your local Homeland store. Visit nutrius.ie for full nutritional information.
Hi, Paddy here at Shane Conley Cars in Donegal Town. Are you looking to upgrade your car? With Shane Conley Cars, you'll find makes and models for every budget. Great finance options, and we also accept trade-ins. Check out ShaneConleyCars.com or call in to us at Shane Conley Cars from Lonher Road, Donegal Town.
Join Home Instead and make a difference in older people's lives. Home Instead Hiring Week is Monday the 19th to Friday the 23rd of February. For event details or to apply now, visit careers.homeinstead.ie.
Home Instead, to us it's personal.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
All right, Mark is with me on the show now. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Greg. How you doing?
I'm all right. A bit taken aback. I'm looking at these images you sent us here. A new road in Trenta. Talk to me about it. Paint the picture for those who aren't watching.
Well, the road was the road narrowed down badly where at that section of the road just, and the council came out and they widened it and raised it and left it in good shape. But everything's sunk since, and there's embankments. There's an embankment on one side, and there's pipes sticking through for the flood water to get away. But the road sank that much now. The pipes are sticking up above the water. And there's massive big potholes and hidden in the puddles of water. The puddles of water are huge. Like your wheels almost, your tires covered completely when you drive into it. The bottom, you don't see the bottom of your tires at all in the water.
And for those who may not be aware, Mark, can you describe where this road is? I know it's in Trenta, but just so people know the road.
It'll be 1 kilometre on the Kilmacrennan side of the Presbyterian Church in Trenta.
Right, okay.
So would be.
And it gets a fair
when
bit
you're heading for...
Heading for where, sorry?
Just heading for Kilmacrennan. If you're coming from Church Hill, you're heading straight down to Kilmacrennan just, and you come over the hill, and the next thing you're just down into it, more or less on a blind, come over the blind hill and you're down into it, and before you know it, you're on it.
I mean, looking at the pictures, Mark, it's an unfinished. It's an unfinished surface, Mark. It doesn't look like. I mean, that's hardly the way it's going to be left, or has been left. Really, is it? This is not ongoing works?
No, it was laid up before Christmas, and I haven't seen anybody working on it since Christmas now. But it has sank now. I know where they're at is pretty soft ground, like, and it will always sinkage, but like it's sunk far too. It's down too far now that it's not safe. Just
no,
the road wouldn't be classed as being safe.
And I suppose too, there is also a situation whereby there's local knowledge, but there's going to be people on that road that come over that brae straight down into that wouldn't be familiar with it, and that's where it gets particularly worrying.
This is that if you get somebody say that hasn't known the road, like where a couple of accidents in Kilmacrennan at the crossroads there, where they didn't know and they went straight through. Yeah. You just get straight over the hill and hit into that day, you're going to be in bother here.
Right,
your car's going to get damaged. You'll be lucky if you stay on the road.
Okay, well, listen, thanks for highlighting it.
Something need to be kind of looked at and got kind of straightened up at the could, Madeline Speedy, because it's an accident waiting to happen.
Oh, for sure. And listen, and the road conditions contribute to it, to accidents and collisions. Okay, listen, thanks for helping us highlight it, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, take care of yourself. All right, that's and for those of you who are watching the programme, you'll see the images. Not good at all. 086 60 25,000. If you believe you can beat that, we'll post those images on our Facebook page as well, because the absolute majority of you listen, and we want everyone to be able to see what we're talking about, as well as those who watch the show. So we'll get them up on Facebook. 086 60 25,000. WhatsApp your. Let's see if we can beat that. And it's it's a rogues gallery, so to speak. We don't want. We're not making fun of it, but if you think you've spotted a road that's worse than that one and it is bad, send us in your pictures, your potholes. 086. We're going to pothole watch. 086 60 25,000. The worst road conditions in Donegal. 086 60 25,000, or across the region, for that matter. Also, too, some, I don't know what you would call it, graffiti, something painted on the road out in Gweedore overnight. Ireland is full. Arl is full is how it reads. It's appeared on a back road. Well, it's not a back road. It's probably a main route. But someone's went out in the middle of the night and put Ireland is full on it. I'm not sure. I think our services are under severe pressure. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of towns you go around Donegal. Actually, what's happened is a depopulation. If you go to places like, I don't know, Downings, for an example, back in the day, if you talk to people from the area, you looked out and there's 20 houses scattered across, all had families in, all had young people in them. And now it's older people, which is grand too. But a lot of the houses lie vacant most of the time because they're holiday homes, effectively. Little shops that used to be there, no longer there. And people milling around, talking to each other outside of the summer season, just not the way it used to be. And that's replicated in many, many places. Homes just lying empty. So in terms of accommodation, is Ireland full? I don't know. Our services, arguably, yep, at capacity, but I don't know. Someone's took the time to go out and make this statement on the road that Ireland is full. IRL is full. IRL, they didn't go the full Ireland. I'm surprised they didn't go air, actually. But anyway... so for those of you who watched it, you've seen that, and we'll see if they get up on the social media, as well. Right, we did the bingo numbers. I did do them, didn't I? I did. Did I do the bingo numbers? I think I did. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't. Okay, here's the bingo numbers, I think.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today.
In the final clearance of Watson Menswear, there's great savings across top labels. A great selection of footwear, shirts and knitwear, half price. Selected suits and kids' clothing, also half price. There's dress shirts, 2 for €40, and denims, 2 for just €70. Don't miss out on some great bargains in the final clearance now on at Watson Menswear, Main Street, Letterkenny, and online at watsonmenswear.com. Confirmation wear also now in stock.
Across a wide range of categories, the 2024 .ie Digital Town Awards are a chance to showcase your town's digital project. Apply now at digitaltownawards.ie. Brought to you by .ie, Ireland's National Domain Registry. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're starting a new business in 2024, let BizPrint help with all your printing needs. Logo design, invoice books, business cards and promotional products. Call BizPrint in Letterkenny today on 9177 955 or visit bizprint.ie.
Kelly's award-winning diner is open at Mountaintop, Letterkenny right through the week with extended opening hours every weekend. Try their renowned Great Value breakfast or the tastiest burgers in town or a great selection of healthy options from a menu that's packed with all the most popular dishes. First Communion and Confirmation catering also now available. Kelly's Diner, Mountaintop, Letterkenny for great food and great service every time.
Connor here from Irwin Expert Electrical, home to Ireland's largest LG TV display, now with a further 10% off all models, with a huge selection of top household electronics featuring energy-efficient Bosch appliances, premium brands such as Sage, Electrolux, cooker taps and more, interest-free layaway service available. Irwin Expert Electrical, Letterkenny and Buncrana.
Imagine a device so innovative, you're... Accept cookies? There is a device so forward-thinking, you... accept cookies? A device that is so modern, you... Accept cookies? Now imagine a technology where cookies don't get in the way of your advertising. Welcome to radio. Advertising that's cookie-free. Visit radiocenterireland.ie to see what radio can do for your product or brand.
Hey, good morning. We are joined on the programme now by John, who's got I tell you, the scams and exploitation are getting worse every day, John. Thanks very much for helping us get the word out. How are you keeping, John?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good stuff. Good to have you on the show. So what happened to you, John?
Well, I'll tell you what it was. It happened there about in the middle of the week, the beginning of the week there last week, about Tuesday night. I noticed my Facebook was playing up and I couldn't get access to it at all. I couldn't log into it, and I thought something's wrong. Maybe it's Facebook that's down. I was thinking maybe my Wi-Fi was weak. I just couldn't get into it. And then it kept popping up to reset my password, but I just couldn't understand. But eventually on Thursday, I tried again, but I was just busy, and then I tried again to get into my Facebook account, and I was completely frozen out. They managed to get into my actual email account, and they got my email address, and they changed my email address on my Facebook account, and also they changed the password and the mobile number that I had on it. So therefore, whenever you go in to renew your passport, if you click forget password, then they can send you a code to your mobile.
Yeah.
But they actually had all that changed, that I actually couldn't get any access to my Facebook account at all.
Wow. So you couldn't even post on your Facebook to say, sorry, I've been hacked, ignore any messages. They'd you completely out.
I've lost that account completely. I've lost everything in that account, and I've had that account from the day Facebook started, all my photographs, all my memories, everything's gone because they really got into it, and but it was probably that afternoon that I was so annoyed. I contacted Facebook and I said, listen, it's showing up here an email address that's not mine attached to this account. And I was sending away emails to Facebook, explaining to them, but nothing came back. Like, I wasn't satisfied how Facebook has handled it at all. And there's no contact telephone number that you can talk to anyone. There is a number that you contact in Dublin, but it rings once and then they hang up. It rings once, they hang up. And I just could not get through at all. So, but what happened then was the next morning, about 8:30, I got the phone call from one of my brothers, all excited. And I was like, oh, how can I help you? And he goes, Charlie, how did you get a hold of Taylor Swift tickets? I'll buy them off you. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, Charlie, you're selling 4 Taylor Swift tickets. I go, no, I'm not. He goes, you're selling them for a mate in Scotland. I went, no, I'm not. And I couldn't believe it then that the penny dropped. So I was like, oh my God, please don't answer the message. It's not me, it's a scam. It's definitely not me. If I had Taylor Swift tickets, I'd be going,
And I tell you, you'd be taking me with you too. Me, you and the bro.
So but it was so, but I must have got about, in total that day, I must have got about 20 phone calls. From people then phoning me, asking me, going, Charlie, when I try to ring you on Messenger, you'll not answer. Is everything all right? Like, it's not me. I promise you, I'm not selling Taylor Swift tickets. And, I was like, and one of my mates, as I said, in Scotland, he contacted me, goes, I was just about to give him my bank details. And he goes, I don't know what came over me to say, I'll give you a phone to save it,
Yeah,
and he said, and I was literally, because he said, they're not even dear. They were 175 each.
Right.
But for 4 tickets, and if you do that a number of times, that does soon add up, I'm actually annoyed. I never thought of it myself.
But the thing is too, though, like the thing is, I would say what's part of the scam is they don't just take the 170 per ticket. They'll probably say, oh, well, we need, if you send me 200, I'll send you back 30 if you give me your bank details or something like that there. So do you know if anyone, obviously a lot of people, because they were ringing you to sort of try and get in the back door to buy them off you. Did you learn, did anyone fall for the scam? Because we don't often admit if we've been scammed, but I wonder, was anyone able to make contact with you to say that they actually fell for it?
We see nobody's got in contact. One of my mates in Scotland said he was so close that he was just about to give his bank details, but whatever it is, he says something came over him. He says to phone me, and he says, and I phoned you, and he says, thank God. He said, I had the numbers typed in ready to send, But the thing was clever about it. They were using my account, but they were saying, I'm selling these for a friend, and then some of my mates in Scotland were telling us that, see, whenever they messaged them, they were like, oh, I'll give you her direct, I'll give you her mobile or number or message or whatever, and you can message her direct. They were so convincing that they were using, like, see, whenever you log into your Facebook account, you have up your job, where you work and what you do and all that. They were so convincing, telling them, oh, I worked with Charlie or John for years.
Yeah.
And, and, oh, no, that's why I told them to put these tickets up for me. And, oh, no, it's legit and all this. They were so convincing.
Wow. So it's to get them out of the space where you might be, to get them contacting them and messaging them directly. And, there's 2 things going on here. Obviously, you're advising people about these scams they're going about, but you're out of your Facebook account as well. Now, it might not be... I know some people that is their life and memories. Do you know what I mean? And if they lost access to that, they'd be absolutely devastated. Some phones...
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm totally. You wouldn't believe, like, I'm talking first communion, confirmations, babies born, and photographs with my granny, God rest her, all gone. Like all these memories that I will not. You know yourself, you take photographs, and you never develop them.
Yep.
But at least on Facebook, there was always this background of a copy of them, you know. And not only that, places you've seen all over the world. As I said, I've had that since Facebook came out.
Yeah.
Maybe showing me age now, but at the end of the day, it's a massive big deal. But I really have to be honest to the people out there, Facebook have been so poor on it.
Yeah, because this two-step verification and all that crack, that's designed to protect us.
God.
And
and I cannot get through to a person to speak to and explain to them, because, as I said, I'm still getting messages even today.
Okay.
I obviously had to make up a new Facebook account, and then I put it up then on the public page to say, by the way, this is my old account has been hacked. And then I wrote a wee sort of a thing on it to say, avoid people are trying to sell Taylor Swift tickets. Don't go near it. It's a scam. But, you know, I hope I can stop a few people from doing it. But it's happening.
How do you think they got in? Did you click a link or something yourself, or
well, it's funny you saying that. I had a message from I got this random message about 2 weeks ago from my brother, and it was like, "Oh, Charlie, do you know that I've been working here now for so long?" And he goes, "And I was able to claim back all my tax."
Right. Okay.
And I texted him back. I go, "Oh, wow." I said, "Would that have worked for me?" I said, "Even though I've moved away from that country," I said, "would it work for me?" He goes, well, if you're too busy, send me your bank details and I'll check for you."
Oh, my word. Okay.
And that's really struck home with me.
Yeah.
So then I went into I went in and I screenshotted it, and I phoned Martin I phoned my brother on his phone. I says, "Listen, by the way, are you?" I said, "Is this genuine?" And he goes, "What are you talking about?" So it started from when I accepted his new friend request.
Yep.
That's where I seem to have made the problem.
Thankfully, you don't have a card connected to your Facebook account. I think anyone who has, for Marketplace or what have you should. No. It's good to break those connections. And if anyone's got any tips as to how our caller, you've called yourself about 4 different names at this stage, so I don't know what to call you anymore. But anyway,
yeah. No, but do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
Go on, John. Go on.
I'll be honest. I don't want anybody. I'm just trying to save people from getting caught out, because I know what it's like when you. And I don't know if you've seen the video with the scammer. There's a video going about YouTube. You could see it. It's incredible. Where a woman was scammed out of 1,200 for 2 Taylor Swift tickets to take her daughter. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
And then she had to go and explain to her daughter that the money was gone and that they're not going to Taylor Swift. But this radio station, I'm not saying you should do this for me, it'd be great, but this radio station came up and got them tickets for Taylor Swift. It was actually unbelievable. But you want to see the reaction, but it's on YouTube. You can type it up and you'll see it.
I could rustle up a mug. That's about that. Yeah, do you want a mug?
No. That's not what I'm doing. All I'm trying to do is...
Possibly. I can throw a pen in it. I can't do 4 Taylor Swift tickets.
No, but what I'm saying is...
one time. But no, I get you. I know exactly what you're saying. But come here, before I let you go, right? Are you a Taylor Swift fan? Or would you just go for the experience?
No, I would have went to see her. Like, I mean, I watched Super Bowl just to see her. I wasn't ready.
I didn't see that
Super Bowl, don't even like that.
I didn't get to see that yet.
Yeah.
All right, listen, come here. Thanks for helping us to get the message out there. I'm sorry I can't just sort of say, oh, and by the way, we just don't have that swing.
No, not at all. No, thank you very much. And as I said, all I'm trying to do is get the word out there for people to be careful what they're clicking onto on Facebook or even their email accounts. It's so easy to think that you're... Do you know what's actually, just before I go, I'm so sorry, Greg, there are a movie in the cinema just now called The Bee.
I've seen it.
The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I have seen it, yeah.
And you know what? I went to the cinema to see that last week, and I came out, I thought to myself, my God, that'll never happen to me.
There you go.
And by God, was I so sorry that I said that, because it's really all about that situation of these horrible scams. You know.
What did you think of the film?
Yeah. I actually totally loved it. I thought it was actually very good. I loved the storyline. And maybe if there's somebody out there listening and can catch the person who's doing this and do that to them, I'd be very happy.
Well, I don't think we want to go and blow them up, but anyway. No, I mean, like, it's his type of film, isn't it? It's not a documentary, it is a film, but yeah.
Not at all.
It actually was interesting highlighting the scams and what have you. Listen, take care.
That's the whole point of it. Thank you
John,
very much.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
And listen, hopefully you get to see Taylor at some point. That's John there. 086 60 25,000. 086 60 25,000. All right, let's see. We're going to talk love now. Kevin's with us. Hiya, Kevin.
Just to remember what that was, love. Yes, just about. Yep.
Well, that's not. This whole conversation, right, is about how you met your wife, you're still together, beautiful children, all romance, and the first thing you say is, "I just about remember what love is." Now, come on, Kevin, work with me here.
That's how long ago it was, you see, Greg. You know, you're only a young fella yet. Like, you don't have a good memory of it.
Come here, Kevin. Right, take us back to the late 70s. You're full head of dog hair, big collars, probably wearing a nice pair of slacks, bell bottoms, lovely pair of shoes. You're walking through Letterkenny like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. You can pick up the story from there. What happened?
Who's been talking about me?
Go on, how did you meet her?
1979, Sunday night in the Grove.
Yeah.
The end of March, I met her. And she's just after coming into the room now and putting the I'm dead.
Oh, no. Right, the old thumb across the neck. Right, okay.
You got me in bother.
Okay, come on, we'll be quick while you're still here.
While I'm still around, yes. We dated the Monday night. She went back to work and had to go to a concert during the week, and she came back at the weekend. And on the Monday, we got engaged.
Mm. What?
So that's a week later.
And did you pop the question?
Of course I did.
Down on one knee and all?
No, I was sitting at the time, I suppose.
And like, what? How did you phrase that? I mean, like, it's only a week in. Like, you couldn't have got a sense of what she wanted at that point? Like, how did you know you weren't going to get thrown back into your face? What?
Well, if I did get thrown back in my face, well, look, that would have been it. But it didn't get thrown back in my face.
Yes.
It was accepted, and I went and bought the ring. I didn't take her with me for buying the ring. I went and bought the ring myself.
Yes.
And she's still wearing the same ring.
Wow, beautiful. And were you engaged for long, Kevin? People get engaged now for 5 or 10 years, which is fine. It's up to them. But how long after you got engaged did you get married?
The following April.
Wow. So it was love. It was obviously love at
1980.
first. It was love at first sight for the pair of you. So you just knew that was it.
Well, I'll tell you a story, a funny story. Well, it's not funny, but it's one of them things that might have been meant to be. Back in the day, when you were making your first Holy Communion, the boys come out of one aisle and the girls come out of another aisle. And a boy and a girl walks up together to receive their first Holy Communion.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened it was Grady that I was paired up with.
Oh, wow.
We walked out. And then turned the clock on now. 45 years later from getting married, we're still together.
Beautiful
and we're
family.
Probably 17 years. Yeah, so yeah, family. Yeah, good family.
What's
very
the
good family,
secret?
very proud of.
What is the secret? Please.
Well, the secret is she's very forgiving.
Right.
Just because I was no good boy, but no, look, you just get on with things. And mistakes are made, and you rectify the mistakes, and hopefully you don't make them again. And you carry on and be able to listen and just whatever life throws at you, you have to take it. And just remember, at the end of the day, it's two years together.
What about going to sleep on a
row?
row? What about going to sleep on a row? Did you ever try and avoid that, or is it important to tell each other that you love each other every day? Is that important, or maybe not so?
Well, we would do, yeah, but that's could go to sleep in a row, all right, no bother. Get up in the morning and think, what was that all about?
Aye, that could work too. And your beautiful wife is Greta. You dropped her name. Is it Greta?
Gretty,
okay.
Goretta.
45 years married, engaged a couple of days after they met, married the next year, 45 years on, 3 beautiful children that you're very proud of. It's a wonderful Valentine story, Kevin, and I'm so happy for both of you.
Well, now, will you come to the funeral now after a couple of days' time after she just does me in?
Do you know what? She's going to give you a big kiss, I would say. Have you used the house to yourself?
Slapping the kissers, you mean?
Right, Kevin, I'm going to leave you to go and try and pick up the pieces of your 45-year-old marriage after
you're not going to stay online as a witness?
I don't think I want to now. I don't want to hear those noises. I know she's going to give you a cuddle.
Have a good one.
Good luck to you, Kevin. Good luck, Gretty. All right, let's see. Danny's with us. Hiya, Danny. Are you there?
Hello there, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to have you on the show today. Right, okay. We're going to talk about being single too on Valentine's Day, Danny.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, no, I'm a single man. I'm in my 70s now, and courted, but never got married. And after listening to Kevin and Gretty, not so much things, I used to work a bit harder than Kevin had to.
But I would say,
sort of like romance.
Yeah, and I'd say in there a couple of dodgy dates.
Oh yeah, well no, there wasn't so much. Well, there was dodgy dates, but unfortunately, it was all with the same girl, and 2 of them was around Valentine's Day. There was one Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day fell on the Saturday, and I was working up to Friday. So I left it till Friday night to go to the flower shop and the card shop and everything. And this is over 40 years ago. And I rushed into the card shop. I said, I'm looking for a Valentine's Day card. Oh, we have none. We have none. There wasn't there. Couldn't get that. Rushed into the flower shop. I want a dozen red roses. God, there's not a rose to be had, the man says. So I ended up getting white and red carnations and that, and the thing. So the Valentine's Day was the following day. I'd booked a restaurant to go there. That all went well. I gave her the flowers, and she was, I think, expecting red roses. So the carnations was nice, but it didn't go down too well. And the things, but we had a lovely evening, and I was just saying there that all at the time, even 40 years ago, was it the restaurant, the flowers, some chocolates, and that all adds up. So I was talking to a friend of mine who was married. He says, Danny, he says, you're doing it all wrong. He says, the next time, he said, if you want flowers, he says, go down Columbia Road. There's a flower market. You can get a dozen roses down there for £3. So the next year was Valentine's Day, was on the Sunday. So I went down to Columbia Road on the Sunday. I got the dozen roses. It's cheap. We went to a restaurant called Garfunkel's, where you could get the main meal and a salad, and then afterwards we went to the pictures.
Sounds fantastic.
Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm listening here. I'm just wondering, Danny, how come that didn't work out? Because what more can a man do?
No, well, the pictures we went to after that, was a bit not the. I was just thinking about it there, Greg. It was back before the time of the internet, so I had to look up in the local paper where the movies was on, and I think the movie went to was Officer and a Gentleman, which all went down well.
Okay.
The thing, and then
is that not a bit? Is that one not a bit saucy, Danny?
No, well, I suppose no. At the end, I wouldn't say saucy, more romantic,
Okay, I just had this memory of that being a saucy film. Anyway, what happened after that then?
Well, Well, we came out of the pictures. I didn't know the area. You know, we got because it was not like in the area of London that we was. It's a bit further over, so we had a taxi. I said we might as well finish off the evening like in this bar across the road, which is not a bar but a big pub. And she said, yeah, that's good. That would be good. We went in there, opened the door, and everybody looked at us, turned and looked at us. We was dressed normally, and everybody else in there was all bikers. It's like sort of, like Dirty Dancing. That's more saucy, like going into a biker's sort of club. But everybody was very good. They was all very nice. Like they just wondered how we had the nerve to go into their pub.
Okay, come here though, Danny. Is it possible, like you've talked about how hard you worked there to wine and dine your lady, do you think, we have it tough, us men, do you think there's too much responsibility on us to get it right at this time of year?
Well, there can be, especially when you're caught in. It's all right, like, most of the people I know is married, and I said, Valentine's Day, you're doing something. A friend of that particular friend, he says, he said, what I do, he said, if I get flowers, I go down the market and get them, and if we have a meal, you didn't order in a takeaway, then delivered, you just went and got a takeaway. That's as far as his romance went when he was married. But me, I was rushing around like there was no mobile phones. You couldn't ring up and the things. I had to do everything by foot. Go into restaurants, booking the table, getting the flowers, doing that, and like I say, I'm single now. My hair's gone grey from old age, not from stress. But I do know a lot of my friends that are married have all gone bald. So I don't know if there's any relationship to that.
I don't know. I think there might be. I don't have a hair in my head, Danny. I don't know if that's... maybe we're getting down to the nitty-gritties of it. But anyway, Danny, you're happily single. Sounds like it to me.
I was explaining there that I'm not against Valentine's Day. I'm sort of like I call myself like a bit of an old romantic. Good luck to anybody that enjoys it. But all I can remember back then, especially for this particular one girl, we dated a lot, But there was 4 dates I took her on, and it wasn't disastrous, but they just sort of backfired on me, And I was just saying, I don't know how people can afford it now, because back then, even that girl, I treated her one time to go to, not treated, because I enjoyed it. Also, we went to the theatre to go and see Evita. Now, you couldn't go to Evita and have a meal afterwards and walk away with anything like under about, say, €500.
Yeah.
In this day and age, there was an actor on the other day saying how expensive it is now that only the rich can afford to go to the theatre.
That's true. But do you know what? If it's real love, money doesn't matter or shouldn't come into it. It's gestures, I think, that people...
Oh, no, it didn't. It didn't back then. No. But I just wanted
Danny, you're making a very good point. Now, Danny, I know you're happily single, right? But you sound like a charmer to me, maybe a bit of a Romeo. I'm sure you're not on dating websites, but maybe you are. That's up to you. Are you looking for love? Are you looking for love? If someone says, Danny sounds like a bit of all right, he sounds like a bit of a wheeler dealer, a bit of a geezer, I want some of that. Do you want us to get them in contact with you?
I don't. Well, love. I sort of, rather than saying love, I say romance, and rather than love in a relationship, at my age, I like companionship for from sort of both people, because me and you, we spoke over 2 years ago, Greg, about a different subject, right. The economy and the thing, but I do like to talk to people. I like to be with people. I'm a gregarious in my way, but at the other side of me, I'm also a bit of a loner,
Yeah. No, that's it. I think that's good. But do you know what?
I hear a lot of people, and I do know a lot of married people, and unfortunately, when they do lose a loved one, it's the companionship that they miss the most,
But Danny, too, do you know what you have, which a lot of us don't have, is you know what you want, you know who you are, and there's a contentment and a comfort and a happiness in that as well. A lot of a lot of us, you spend your life trying to find out what you want or who you are or what makes you happy, but you've it nailed down, and it sounds like, Danny, it sounds like you're all right, and I really appreciate you contacting us with some of your anecdotes. Loved it, and made some really good points along the way as well. Lovely to speak to you. Don't leave it 2 years, Danny.
I know, Greg. Yeah, because the last time we were talking about the things, and then I finished the thing saying, well, I go to keep the cost down. I do the things just to treat my dog, and then you asked after the dog, like Caesar. Yep. Unfortunately, Caesar died a year ago, next week. But he was 18 and a half, and again, I miss that companionship.
Exactly. Oh God, no, that's really sad to hear that, because I know as soon as you mentioned his.
Oh no! Well, no, it was that for the size of dog he was, people said, he had a good age, and we used to have a good life together. Again, Greg, not to compare it like with Valentine's Day, but I used to go, after he passed away and the things like that, I would go out shopping, and I'd be up and down the aisle in the dog food section, and I would have to say to myself, no, you haven't got a dog anymore. Don't be looking at treats on that. But now I'm looking after a neighbour's dog, and I've after a year I forget to go. I went out shopping one day. Again, another anecdote. Went out shopping mainly to get stuff for the dog, and I went home with milk and bread, but nothing for the dog. I'm like old Mother Hubbard. The poor dog was looking at me.
All right. Okay. Well, as long as you're happy.
You do get in the habit of things, but no, it's just Caesar was good.
Would you get your? I know you'd never replace Caesar because you couldn't, but would you consider getting another dog just for the companionship? You have a ton of love and care to give, Danny. Would you consider getting your own dog again to sort of continue with that?
Yeah, in time, again, like my family, not all my family, but as part of my family is in England, and when you have a dog, you are tied to the house, you just can't up sticks and go. So that was my intention, but as somebody is like poorly, and the dog's there, I decided, well, I think, like the decent thing, just to look after it. But when everything gets better, I'll sort of try and do what I want to, like there, sort of just to travel, just to see the family again.
Well, Danny,
you can lose, although you've got the telephone and the internet and everything else, you can lose touch. It's nice to be together. But they all like to see me, because even when we go out for the meal, it's always disastrous, but in a funny sort of way, I'm a bit like Laurel and Hardy mixed together.
Well, Danny, you're a lovely chap. Thanks so much for your conversation. Really appreciate it. And as I say, don't leave it 2 years.
You're welcome, Greg. Yeah.
Take care, Danny.
Take care. And
bye-bye.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
And to you, Danny. Take care. God bless
you. Thank you now. Bye-bye.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
A public interest message from Donegal County Council. Overgrown hedges, shrubs and trees along public roads can become a danger to people using or working on a public road. Donegal County Council is reminding landowners and occupiers of their obligations to trim hedges and trees beside the public road. This should be done before the bird nesting season commences in early March. Donegal County Council thanks the many members of the public who have already carried this work out. Donegal County Council, protecting our communities and environment.
Letterkenny Summer Sessions presents Blind Boy Podcast live at Big Top Letterkenny on August 18th, 2024. Following sellout live shows worldwide, the renowned podcaster is bringing his acclaimed show to Letterkenny Summer Sessions for a fully seated, highly anticipated Sunday evening live podcast. Tickets on sale this Friday from 10 a.m. Only $39.90 plus booking fee. See Summer Sessions on social media for all information.
Big screen musical season is here at Century Cinemas, with classic musicals like Kinky Boots and The Titanic coming to the big screen for limited dates only. For movie dates and more information, visit our website at centurycinemas.ie or call 074 91 21976.
Highland Radio are celebrating another birthday. We are inviting you to join us for our Highland Radio Birthday Bash on Tuesday the 19th of March in the Mount Errigal Hotel. Joined by the one and only Margot, myself, David James, plus special guests Brendan Quinn, Declan Ernie and Patrick Feeney. This is a night not to be missed. Tickets on sale now. Why not treat yourself to one of our package deals, including dinner, bed and breakfast, plus your ticket to the show. For more information, visit the outlet at highlandradio.com or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. We'll see you at the Highland Radio Birthday Bash.
Highland Radio weather updates brought to you by Grant. Building a new home? Choose Grant's A++ rated Airona air-to-water heat pump and Uflex underfloor heating. Visit grant.ie.
Now, rain will clear away for a time this afternoon with perhaps some hazy sunshine developing later. However, another band of rain will spread over the region during this evening. Mild and quite muggy, I'm told, with temperatures of 11 to 13 degrees. One more quick ad break to take because I didn't want to cut across Danny. Just to bring us up to the news at 11. Loads more interesting stuff coming up in the next hour.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Nutrius Milk Replacer range, which includes NutriStart and NutriStart Plus, offers the best start to your cows this spring season. With 23% and 25% crude proteins, ideal for calf to beef and heifers rearing systems. Give your calves the best possible start. Available in your local Homeland store. Visit nutrius.ie for full nutritional information.
New this week in Home Store and More. All frying pans are all half price. But better hurry, because when all the half price frying pans are gone, they're gone. Also, all garden water features and all bathroom towels are still all half price. But when all the half price garden water features and all the half price bathroom towels are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More. Visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. New store now open in Frascati Centre, Blackrock. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Ah, the difference fragrance makes in a woman.
Treat your Valentine to top brand perfumes from McGee's Chemist, Main Street, Letterkenny.
What are the different types of fragrance?
Chanel, Calvin Klein, Gucci, Elizabeth Arden, Giorgio Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Flower Bomb, and many more.
The perfect gift at the perfect price. Designer perfume from McGee's Chemist, Main Street, Letterkenny.
At Cooney's Home Interiors, we pride ourselves on offering you the very best in choice, quality and value on all home furnishings. Treat your home with a visit to Cooney's today and choose from our large range of suites, tables, beds, not to mention our large selection of home accessories. Our motto is, if you see it, you can buy it, and we will deliver it to your door. Cooney's Home Interiors, Letterkenny Retail Park. Style and perfection at incredible value.
Time is running out to avail of the Northern Ireland Sustainable Energy Programme. This year you could receive a fully funded gas conversion, attic insulation, LED replacement bulbs and more. Applications closing soon. Search nisep.co.uk to apply today. Terms and conditions and eligibility criteria apply.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
It is 11 o'clock. Let's get a news update, and it's over to Donna Marie Doherty.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Crowds are gathering in the village of Watergrass Hill in County Cork for the funeral service of 6-year-old Matthew Healy. The senior infants pupil died on Friday after he was found unresponsive in a car close to Dunmore East in County Waterford. The funeral will not be streamed online, and people are warned of scams purporting to be a link to the mass. His mother was charged with his murder in court last night. Members of Letterkenny Milford Municipal District are to seek a meeting with Community Gardaí to discuss antisocial behaviour. The issue was raised this week by Mayor Councillor Kevin Bradley, who asked that the council provide more security in parks and walkways and in and around Letterkenny, as underage drinking is becoming a problem. Officials say any incidents are reported to Gardaí and pointed out that in parks, CCTV cameras are in place. A Donegal deputy says the expectation for those who are living paycheck to paycheck to pay the TV licence fee is scandalous. Deputy Thomas Pringle yesterday called for the scrapping of the TV licence fee in lieu of an exchequer funding in the Dáil in support of a motion brought forward by Sinn Féin. He said given the money wasting seen by RTE, it's a slap in the face for those who are struggling financially to pay the annual €160 fee. Letterkenny Milford Municipal District has been told there could have been a tragedy on the M13 close to the school at Lurgy Brack. It's after a car aquaplaned on surface water. Councillor Donald Coyle told a meeting this week that on heavy rain, water flows down the hill from the vicinity towards the junction at Drumney, and he wants Transport Infrastructure Ireland to install a pipe in the area. And finally, Councillor Mary-Therese Gallagher has announced she will not seek re-election. The Glanties councillor said in a statement that it has been an honour to serve the people of the county since 2007. She says it's the right time for someone else to come forward and represent the interest of workers and families in Donegal. That's all for now. Back again at 12 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Donna Marie. And we'll be back after this really short break.
Jack, everyone asks me if you're teething when you cry, but can you be teething all the time? Maybe you're hungry, or you're sad and need a little cuddle, or maybe it's something else.
At the HSE's mychild.ie and in the free My Child books, you'll find the answers you need. From doctors, midwives, public health nurses, dietitians, and lots of other experts. mychild.ie. Expert advice for every step of pregnancy, baby, and toddler health. From the HSE.
Now, before we welcome our next guest into studio, here's the details of the fantastic quiz we've got running all of this week.
This week we have a fantastic end of week prize courtesy of the Holyrood Hotel for one lucky winner, which includes one night bed and breakfast for two people at the Holyrood Hotel Bundoran with champagne and chocolates on arrival, followed by a spa treatment each in the Holyrood's luxurious spa at Orchids. Finish off your evening with a 4-course dinner and a bottle of wine in their Watermelon restaurant, plus full use of the Blue River Leisure Centre swimming pool and Canadian hot tub. Your spa experience includes a private session in the outdoor hot tub and sauna, and a 60-minute spa treatment, each inspired to give you a captivating night's sleep. Beginning with a serene back massage, followed by a beautifully soothing scalp and arm massage. To be in with a chance of winning this fantastic prize on Friday, simply answer this question. What city is often called the City of Love and is home to iconic sites such as the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame Cathedral? Text or WhatsApp your answer, name and address to 086 60 25,000.
Okay, we're joined in studio now by Sarah Timoney, founder and owner of Adaptifashion. Thank you so much for calling in.
Hi guys, thanks very much for having me in.
It's good to have you with us. All right, Adaptifashion, firstly, great name.
Thank you.
Cracker. Talk to us a little bit about it. It's about adaptive clothing range for people with additional needs. So talk us through what those, how you meet those needs with your fashion brand.
Yeah, so basically Adaptifashion is an adaptive and inclusive brand. So basically we provide clothing with adaptations that will cater for elderly care or people with disabilities. And the whole aim is that everybody can have the choice to dress how they want and promote independence as much as possible, because with the choices that is currently available, there's a massive gap in the market for adaptive clothing. It's very hard to find, and when you do find it, it doesn't really look very fashionable. So that was a big part of it, to keep it fashionable and functional.
Yeah, and that's right, to a lot of clothing that would be beneficial to someone in terms of convenience or what have you, depending on their individual circumstances. There's probably not a lot of attention going into making that seem nice.
Yeah. So I think a lot of bigger companies, especially in America, and like a lot, bigger brands would have started adaptive clothing. But the problem is, like a lot of brands would just, put a bit of Velcro on or stick a zip here and there, and it doesn't really work. So with all of our designs, we would have had a lot of focus groups, and they would have been designed by people with disabilities to make sure that we are actually meeting the needs and that, it is serving the purpose that they need.
You've been in healthcare for over 10 years, so you've seen this firsthand yourself. So talk us through, some of the experiences that sort of led you to say, right, I can do something here.
So I've seen it year on year, to be honest, Greg, and I think the demand is actually getting higher because, as we know, the population is living longer. There's more people living independently, and I've just seen a bigger need for it. And it's ranging from kids right up to people in their late 80s and 90s. And I just think it's such a simple concept of, that they can still get dressed independently. It's just having things tweaked and added to make sure that's a bit easier. So for the likes of shirts, we would replace buttons with either Velcro or snappers. We also have a magnetic range. So all the items look, I suppose, exactly the same as everyone else's, but they do have that function that they can, it's just an easier way of getting dressed.
And is this the type of area that you can sort of have off the peg stuff, or is it tailored to the individual, or what's the balance there?
Yeah, so we do both. So all the stock that I currently have on the website, that is, anyone can buy that stock. Most of our adaptions would be zips, magnets and snappers and the Velcro. So we would have a collection that would be geared at a number of different disabilities. We also do custom orders, so they've got very popular. Customers would get in touch, and if they have a certain need or requirement, we would cater towards that need.
Would that include sort of saying, if I bought, say for instance, I wanted a rugby jersey. Could I say, right, we've got the rugby jersey. Is there a way that you can adapt it to make it easier for Greg to put on so that I can feel part of it, right?
Yeah, we actually did that last year for a very special little boy. And like that, now I sourced the jersey and adapted towards his needs. But what we can do is, if you have stuff at home, and I would encourage you, customers to use what they have, and try to get use of the clothes they have, and we can adapt them to their needs. And
it's not just sort of shirts or whatever, it's all types of different stuff,
all
trackies.
Clothes, yeah.
You have a solution for all of it.
Yeah, so there was a collection launched last year, and it was a forest green loungewear collection. So you had your white t-shirt, you had your crew neck jumper and your joggers. And that was, that's probably the most fashionable collection. But we do have, for male and female, shirts, trousers. We have skirts coming now next, and hopefully there's a few jackets coming this year and a few more designs.
And obviously, when as you're speaking, and I'm thinking of examples, it could be people maybe with what quite severe needs, or if that's the correct way of grading it. I don't know. I don't want to sound cruel, but I know people know that's not my intention. But then there are people that just sort of even putting a skirt on. Do you know what I mean? That you want to do it yourself, obviously, but maybe you can't bend down as you did, or reach around as you did before. The likes of the solutions that you're talking of would make a lot of people's life easier, because they want to look smart, they want to get dressed, but they don't necessarily want to go through the rigmarole. It can be more difficult for some.
Well, I have noticed that, Greg. Now the business is open this 2 years now, this March, and I have noticed that excuse me, there is more needs that need to be catered for. Like arthritis is the biggest need, and it's generally male between 55 and 65. It's just something I suppose we take for granted, but somebody with arthritis could really struggle with the buttons on their shirts.
For sure, yeah.
But it's just so simple. It's just changing just that little area on the shirt could just make things so much easier. So the adaptions don't always necessarily have to be very difficult. It could just be tweaking a few things on each item.
But that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It really is fiddly to get just that one example there, whereas you can just clip it or whatever it might be, and away you go. There's a lot of important issues here in terms of independence, right? But also to how, we're all at it. It doesn't matter what your situation is if you look in a mirror or have a look at yourself and you feel good, you feel confident.
Yeah.
You'll see hairdressers will tell you that people going through very difficult times in their lives, getting their hair done can give them a lift or what have you. This is in that same space as well too, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's about making people feel included, catered for, and good about themselves.
Yeah, well, I just can't understand, Greg, and I suppose this really bothered me, year on year, working with people with, disabilities or in the elderly care sector. We have so many other ranges. We have petite, we have tall, we have plus, we have maternity, but there is no adaptive range.
But the thing is you're coming at this with a heart, right? The reason it's not really generally catered for is because people look at scale and production.
Absolutely.
And how much profit is there. Can we and they go, nah. And that's where you can step in then. I think that might, well, now, I'm not a business person, but that generally often is the barrier. They say there's not enough money in this to do the right thing.
And I absolutely agree with that. But it's then when you have, there was a girl who was designing the first collection with me when this, we were still very much in the, I suppose, the trial phase of the business. And she had a great point, Greg. She said, just because I have disabilities, I also work, I earn a wage, like my money is just as good as anyone else's. And this is the thing I think businesses are starting to realise. It is, it's a huge business. And people have money to spend, but there's nowhere to spend it. And they've every right to have the choice.
Do you have some examples of, the stuff with you? Just something that's easy for me to not demonstrate as such. But so that's a T-shirt.
Yep, this is a white T-shirt. It's a plain basic T-shirt.
It goes with everything?
Goes with everything. You have the logo here, which I don't want too much in your face, so it's very simple branding. But
that's actually your own logo there as well. Oh,
so,
cool.
And you'll see here, I'll just open it up.
So I'll try and describe it as well. So around the neck is Velcro. Simple as.
2 small tabs are in Velcro. But what we've done with the labels here, so we've put the labels on the inside, so anybody that has any sensory needs, the label's not annoying them. So they're all printed at the back.
Fantastic. Another thing, if people find that thing on the back of the neck annoying, it's so simple, but it's actually a beautifully cut T-shirt as well.
I was wearing this for about 6 months before it went into production, and the whole point was I didn't want anyone to know, and so that was achieved. Because I didn't want it to look any different.
So that was your market test sort of a thing, right?
Kind of, like I didn't want the adaptive clothing.
Is this though, Sarah, like anyone who's tried to get a vest or a T-shirt over a kid's head, you know what I mean? Like ripping their ears off them.
Yeah.
Something like that there would be fantastic if it was more widely available.
Yeah, and I think unless you're in the situation that you've either worked with people who have difficulty dressing or family members, I suppose you're not really exposed to it, so you wouldn't really know. But then when you do see the need and how much of an impact it can have in people's lives, you can see the need.
So in terms of that T-shirt too, there's a whole plethora of people. It might be physically it's easier to get on. It could be a sensory issue. Everyone's needs are different, aren't they? And that's so that could be of a benefit to people with a whole range of needs.
But even for instance, if you have short-term restriction, you break your collarbone, you break your shoulder. There's very little out there, to bridge that until you can start wearing your other clothing again.
Well, I mean, listen, it's clearly a fantastic idea and it's clearly going well for you. Are you happy with how this is scaling for you, if you know what I mean? Or you want as many people as possible to hear about this and to benefit from this, because that's clearly what one of your key motives was going into this, all right? So how is that part of it going for you? So
it is going very well at the minute. My biggest problem, Greg, is, I suppose, advertisement around it, because to get good advertisement, you need to put so much money into it. And because it is such a niche area, it's like the manufacturing side of it is colossal. So
and you're
funding is an issue.
You're coming to the point too whereby why the big boys aren't doing it. If to some extent.
I think I know Tommy Hilfiger launched their first kids range in 2016, and the demand was so amazing that they then went to launch an adult range. But the problem is, because it is a niche area, it is going to be more expensive with the adoption costs. And I think that puts a lot of people off. It's very different for me because this is just an adaptive business, so it's not alongside any other items.
But that could work as an advantage to you.
I think so. I think
it's simple sell, it's adaptive clothing. And in terms of obviously, ideally, you'd want someone to back this as well. Maybe invest some money into the business with you. Yeah, I'm not saying it feels like a bit like Dragon's Den, but funny to mention Dragon's Den or something like that. There, this you could see this being actually a really successful pitch.
I hope so. I hope that I can get it to a stage that everyone has that choice. We'll just say, for example, you have a granddad home and the mobility is not great, and it's like one of our best sellers would be the drop front trousers, and they were designed with falling in mind. So basically you wouldn't have to stand up and sit down too many times, that the adaptions would be incorporated to ease that. Do you know what I mean? So you would have less mobility, I suppose, but it would be easier to get the trousers on. And I think if people had the choice of getting adaptive clothing, it would just make life so much easier for families as well. Like America would be the biggest, I suppose, supplier of adaptive clothing to date, but a lot of people will say they can't access the products from America because it's so expensive.
Why shouldn't it be an Irish person
this
doing
is it. Everyone should be able to walk
it
into a shop and have the choice to buy it.
And again, I just go back to the individual that actually could feel they have, independence returned to them. They have style returned to them. They have, feeling included returned to them.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine too, again, parents of young children, say for instance, or teens or whatever, right, that it's quite difficult to get them into traditional clothing, that they would be able to, they know what they would get from seeing their young person happy, wearing more stylish clothing, but it's easy to get in and out of.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million reasons why.
There's a million reasons, but I do think now over the last maybe 3 to 5 years, there is more awareness around it, Greg, to be honest. Like a lot more people are understanding the need for it.
Yeah.
So I do think other brands are going to start launching it as well, which is great. So yeah.
So where do people see your range, get in contact, find out more, Sarah?
Yeah, so they go on to www.adaptivefashion.ie. All the products that we have to date are on the website, and if they want to get in contact about custom products, they can just pop me an email, and all the details are on the website.
And you are Donegal based?
Donegal Town,
okay.
yeah.
Donegal Town, right. Do you have a physical shop?
No, okay. I do everything from home.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right.
Like my shed converted with all my stock.
Huh?
The shed is converted with all the stock.
Like, it sounds brilliant. And in terms of supports from like Leo, and
Leo
what
were
have
very
you,
beneficial.
Okay,
yep,
that's good.
They were
all
very
right,
beneficial. Yep. And Enterprise Ireland were very beneficial. And now in the next few weeks, I'm going to be in touch with Google regarding the prize that I won with them. So that'll be great because that a bit more advertisement and stuff. So
yeah, and it's just about, and as well that even to, people to be able to, with the vision and the money to go on the journey with you as well too. Sounds fantastic. Okay, so adaptafashion.ie. Adapta, ADAPTAFASION, adaptafashion.ie. And I mean, it sounds fantastic. It is fantastic, clearly. You're 2 years in, Sarah. I just hope it's doing well for you already. Of course, I just hope it has the success that it deserves and that you deserve.
Thank you very much.
Because, as I say, it is on so many different levels. It's really, really good. Okay, so check out adaptafashion.ie. If you've worked with Sarah and used the store, let us know, and we can let others know what you think as well. But for now, Sarah Timoney, founder and owner of Adapt Fashion, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more. Is there anything you wanted to add, by the way?
No, that was good.
You happy enough? All right, okay. Back shortly.
The county's #1 talk show, The 9 till Noon Show on Highland Radio.
The 9 till Noon Show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today.
Actions speak louder than words, so I'll keep the words to a minimum. Last year, thousands of people chose Seat for their new car. Why? Because with the Arona, Ateca and Tarraco, we have a stunning lineup of SUVs. And we offer a wide range of purchase options to suit your needs. To see what you've been missing out on, visit seat.ie and check out our 241 offers. Visit seat.ie. What are you waiting for? Go on. Seat.ie for our 241 offers.
Get the right tools or equipment to get the job done with great hire deals at Watson Hire in Letterkenny. Everything from diggers to power tools, dumpers to portaloos, and pressure washers to cherry pickers. Watson's offer a fast and reliable service. To book, call Watson Hire in Letterkenny on 9167777.
Find all the fresh seafood you know and love at your local Dunstores Fishmonger. Marinate and pan-sear a succulent 250-gram hake fillet, only €3, and serve with mango salsa. Pick up a 180-gram pack of beautiful king prawns, only $3.49, or 3 for €10, cooked with your favourite spices or dressing. Plus, you can save at the till with a 5 off 25 grocery voucher. Dunstores, always better value. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used on next in-store grocery shop of €25 or more.
Don't miss the BAFTA award-winning comedian Michael McIntyre's brand new show, Magnificent, at the SSE Arena Belfast on Friday the 31st of May 2024. As always, Highland Radio make it easy for you as we look after all your needs. We will provide luxury transfers, overnight stay at the Clayton Hotel Belfast on a B&B basis, your ticket to the show, shopping time in Belfast City Centre. For more information, go to the outlet at highlandradio.com or give us a call on 074 91 25000. Michael McIntyre in Belfast.
Yeah, check out adaptafashion.ie. It's a business that has huge potential. It's already doing really well, but huge potential for growth. And Sarah, it sounds like someone would be really easy to work with. And if someone went in there with a few bob, I have absolutely no doubt they'd make their money back and then some. Right, let's get to some of your comments. Hi, just wondering if you could do a birthday wish to Vivian Irwin, who is 81 today on Valentine's. Best wishes from Noel, Lorraine, Nicola, Ronan and Holly. Happy birthday, Vivian, from all of us here at Highland and the listeners as well. Another one for Vivian Irwin, wishing you a very happy birthday from Noel, Lorraine, Nicola, Ronan and Holly. More than happy to pass that on. Such a lovely story from Kevin and Gretty. Yes, indeed it was. Someone said to me, actually, and asked me the question, but I didn't have time to think about it. If you had a young one, say you had a son or daughter, 20, 23, 24, 25, whatever age it is, and they came to you and says, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, hey, Granny, I met someone on Friday. How did the date go? Well, on Monday, he asked me to marry him or her, and I said yes. What would you say? How would you react to that? 086 60 25,000 WhatsApps and texts to that number. My husband always complained that the ladies get everything, so I got flowers sent to his work on a construction site. He never complained again. Happy Valentine's Day, Paul Rogers in Manor. That'll stiffen his cuff indeed. Okay. Always remember that if you haven't been scammed, the right scam hasn't reached you yet. Indeed, I know what you're saying. How many Facebooks are double? A lot of people get locked out and make up new accounts. How many members do they really have? There's lots of people have a stalking page as well to keep an eye on someone. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of duplicates of Facebook pages, I am absolutely sure. Hi, Greg. I'm getting loads of text messages, scams and telegram calls. How do I stop it? I don't know how you stop it. This is why we need the mobile companies on our side. They surely have technology to filter some of this stuff out. As I said before, I don't know if it's my phone or my network, but all of the text messages go into spam. I don't see any of them unless I go into spam and read them out. Like, I could open it up now and I'm sure I've got a ton. I'm sure I've got a ton of new ones, but I never see them. And I'm glad I don't, because it would be absolutely annoying. But as I say, I don't get any of them. I don't have any scam ones there at the moment. I don't know where they go. They're going to spam. Spam and blocked. Let's see what I got recently. Your new payee request has been completed from AIB. If you do not recognise this activity, log in to aib-paymentsalert.com to verify your account. Hello, you know yourself. A load of unsuccessful deliveries and on it goes. Can people please put lights on in the fog? Thank you. There is a thing that people don't kind of understand. Don't understand how lights work. Daytime driving lights, fog lights and all that kind of stuff. Right, Kieran's with us now. Hi, Kieran. Good morning to you. Sorry for holding you there. How are you keeping, Kieran?
Hi, Greg.
Right, what are we talking about? Several deer on the road outside Malin Town. Is this a common occurrence?
It is up around Cairn. But where it happened to me last night, I've been told that they'd never heard of deer on the road down towards Malin, but I could be wrong.
Right, so you were approaching deer last night and you had to stop because there was one on the road. What happened next? So I was coming back from football training, and I was heading towards Cairn, so I was coming out of Malin Town, and there'd be like a lay-by on the left-hand side of the road where there's a council yard and there's a coffee van there at the weekends, and a brew parks in there. So there was a car not too far in front of me, and so I had my lights were dipped.
But then, so I could just up ahead. Then I seen something in the road, and I wasn't expecting it really to be a deer, because never seen them there or heard of them there. And but I wasn't going that fast, because I was just coming out of the town. So I had plenty of time to. I seen it, and I was nearly at a stop, because I could see the deer in front of me. So I was nearly at a stop, and next thing I heard this bang, and I thought there had been a second deer or something, or that someone else had seen the deer and swerved and hit me or something. I wasn't quite sure at the time. So I pulled in and got out of the van, and there was a deer in the road, and I didn't see another car, so someone else had stopped behind me, someone that was coming back from football as well, said that, so the deer that crossed in front of me, I'd stopped for it, but there must have been a second one following it, and it obviously jumped out and hit the side panel of my van and the sliding door.
I would have only imagined damage to a vehicle like this if it was a front impact. But this thing has put some dent in the side of your van. Must have ran straight into it, but it must have been huge. Can you imagine trying to do that with your shoulder, Kieran? And if you're out playing football, you know how to shoulder. It would be tight, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really bad.
And is that a slide door that it's ran into as well?
Yeah, it's ran into the sliding door on the side of the van.
Right, so that's not functioning, and there's an awful dent in the side of it. But what do you do now? I mean, that's I don't know how much that would cost to fix, but we're in the grands.
I spoke to someone I know locally there that would break cars and stuff. Yeah. And he said to source the second-hand ones would be really hard, really hard to source one second hand, but for the door alone, he says up to 500, 600, 700 euro, but then there's the labour.
You'll have to spray that as well, because that's
on top of it.
Yeah, that's actually quite a nice. Actually quite a nice paint finish you have in the van. For those watching, they'll see that. So you'll have to match that as well, which is going to cost a few bob. It's a big piece of metal.
Yeah, well, he says to get it, you'd probably have to get a new one, really. He said to get a second-hand one would be hard, and he says for a new door, then it could be even more, you're over 1,000. So he says you're talking 1,000 to 2,000 worth of damage just on a door. So
the next question is, well, that's what insurance is for, but the insurance companies have us by the ghoulies, because there's the excess, and then there's you're going to pay it back over the years ahead if you make a claim. You can't shop around for insurance, because the first question they ask is, have you made a claim in the last 5 years? So you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, Kieran.
Yeah, so I spoke to my insurance this morning, and so they would send an assessor, and the assessor would look at it, and he said basically if it was a couple of €100 worth of damage, then he says, you'd be better off fixing it yourself. But he says, something like that's going to be upwards from claims he's processed before in the thousands. So he says you would have to pay in excess of like 350, 400 euro. And then obviously then the following year the rest of it comes off, goes against my no claims and comes out of my insurance. So I'd be paying it back.
So what do we do about it? Because this is completely random. You're just driving or doing your business, 8 p.m. last night, and a big deer runs into the side of your van. I mean, it's not like it's a cow or a sheep, or a dog. Maybe there'd be some recourse against the owner. These are just animals that are allowed to roam widely around the county.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, there's no signs on that part of the road. I know there is around Cairn, where they come down from the forest or the trees there, but not down that part of the towards Malin that I know of, anyway.
All right, have you figured out what you're going to do yet, Kieran? As I say, you kind of damned one way or other. So either take it out of your own money now if you can scrape it together, or pay for it through the teeth with the insurance company. There's no other real recourse for you, is there? There's no other way around this.
No, probably not. No, I have no. I don't have a couple of €1,000 just lying around spare. So
exactly.
It
All
would
right.
have to be.
Okay, Kieran, if anyone else has any information, advice, or ways around or anything, there probably isn't. But look, you've spoke to a lot of people today by coming on, and we'll see what happens. I'd say it must have been some bang. You must have known what had hit you.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock at the time. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I thought someone else had swerved and hit me.
Yeah.
And I was quite lucky because a few seconds earlier, it could have, where it hit the door, it could have came through my window, or
the head straight through the driver's window, because it looks like, I don't know if this picture's flipped. Was it the driver's side that it hit?
Yeah, it was the driver's side.
Right. That's how it appears in the picture, but you know yourself, sometimes they're flipped. Right, okay. Kieran, if anyone's any advice or anything to add, thank you for that now. But that's obviously a young fella just going about his business. A deer runs straight into the side of the van. For the hundreds of you that are watching the show there, you'll see it is really quite a significant impact. For those listening in Radio Land, if you can imagine the door, you pull the handle and it slides across the side of the van. Well, it is buckled in completely. It's not, you couldn't, I'd be very surprised if you could panel beat that anyway successfully, because it's such a big piece of metal. You'd have to be very, very skilled. So it's a second-hand door, would be hard to source. A new door, spray painted, probably looking at €1,000-2,000. If he goes down the insurance route, at least $350-400 paying the excess, and then paying through the nose once the no claims bonus has effectively elapsed as well. All right, okay. Any help, advice or comment in relation to that situation, Kieran has been through 086 60 25,000, 086 60 25,000, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. Thank you so much for keeping us so busy on the phones, the texts, and every other way you're interacting with us. It's greatly appreciated. All right, our next guest joins us. And if you want to see them, hop online and watch after this break.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
At Lidl, we've dropped the prices of over 600 products, so you save on essentials like shower gels, Irish chicken breast fillets, and fusilli pasta. That lowers the price of a whole trolley from €87.01 to €71.94. That's like €15 back in your pocket. That's even more reasons to go full Lidl today. For full list of products, see lidl.ie/price drops.
Do you need a little extra help staying in your home? At Bluebird Care, we offer a wide variety of QMark-approved personalised home care services across Donegal. And our fully trained and committed staff will always meet your care needs with kindness, compassion and dignity. To get your personal home care assessment plan, visit bluebirdcare.ie or call our care team today on 07491 29562 and bring care home.
Charlie McClafferty Funeral Directors, serving Letterkenny and the surrounding areas for over 100 years. Charlie McClafferty Funeral Directors. Let our family take care of your family and guide you through a difficult time.
The Community Climate Action Fund is now open for applications from community groups in Donegal. There are 2 strands of funding available. Strand 1 focuses on direct climate action building low-carbon communities. Strand 1A focuses on cross-border projects in partnership with communities and organisations in Northern Ireland. The closing date for applications is the 22nd of March 2024. Please visit donegalcoco.ie for more information, the online application form and details of the information sessions. For any queries, please email climateactionfund@donegalcoco.ie.
Start your real electric car journey with the World Car of the Year 2022, the Ioniq 5 at Divers Hyundai. The Ioniq 5 has a super fast charge and a range of up to 507 kilometres. Donegal to Cork on one charge. Divers' fantastic February offer includes a free home charger, free 1 year's road tax and finance at just 1.9%. Contact Divers Hyundai, Canal Road, Letterkenny today on 91 22 600. Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. Credit is provided by Bank of Ireland Finance.
Okay, it is St Valentine's Day today, so there is a lot of love in the air. But will there be love in the air this Thursday night on RTE2, because I'm joined on the programme by Ireland's favourite gay, Mary Hernandez, former ATU Donegal Student Union President. I'm only feeling empowered to introduce you as such, given your social media handle. So I hope that's okay, Mary.
No, 100%. That's why I use that handle, just to make sure that everyone knows that I'm Ireland's favourite gay.
Okay.
So obviously, it all started with a joke, but yeah.
Hey, well, you know what? Embrace it. If it's a good joke, just embrace it. So, former ATU Donegal Student Union President, what was your time up here like, Mary?
Oh, it was amazing. I actually lived in Letterkenny for 6 years. I did my law degree, and then I just decided to run for the student union elections. I first was the vice president of Welfare and Equality, and then I was president. And it was one of the most special times ever. Like, I still look back and I'm like, Donegal, to this day, to me, it's my home. That's where I grew from, like a young adult to a proper adult. And the support that I always had in Donegal has been amazing.
So, we're speaking in the context of it being Valentine's Day, of course, and you being on First Dates. I like First Dates. I find it a programme that I don't tune into religiously, Mary, but if I need my spirits lifted, because in every episode, there's a couple of nice stories in there, and just the idea of two strangers meeting and hitting it off in that time of their lives, it gives me a wee lift, and that's why I watch it. But I'll ask you in a moment as to why you decided to take part in the show. But, like, is dating tough in its traditional senses? And a traditional sense nowadays is so many different ways. I mean traditional outside of going on a dating show, if you know what I mean. Is it tough?
It's so tough. Like, being queer in Ireland and dating is just impossible, because obviously it's such a small, like, country. But most of the gay clubs are either in Cork or in Dublin. So if you think about it, imagine being gay in Donegal. It's like, where can I go to actually find queer people? And it's just like, okay, I have to get a 4-hour bus to actually go to a safe space where I can be myself and meet other people. So just imagine the queer dating scene. It's just ridiculous. So that's why I was just so happy when I found out that I was going to First Dates, because I was like, oh, they'll find a person for me that is also part of the community.
I understand Jennifer Lawrence is your type. Did you find your Jennifer Lawrence in the hills of Donegal?
In the hills of Donegal, no, I did not find, unfortunately, Jennifer Lawrence or someone that looked like Jennifer Lawrence in Donegal. But yes, I did meet a lot of nice girls in Donegal. I used to always say a Donegal girl is always going to be in my top list, because they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, maybe it's going to be a Kildare girl. The one thing I've noticed, even on the British version of the show, is that often when LGBTQ plus people go on the show, it's kind of a relatively small community, and a lot of interaction and dating is done online. So even in, a population of 60 mil, I have watched shows whereby they have come across each other or they recognise each other. Had you come across your date Boo at all prior to meeting on the show?
No, never. That's why I was so amazed about the work that First Dates Ireland brings, because they really do make sure that you don't know the person and that you don't have any connections. I don't know how they do it, but they did it, and I did never see Boo before in my life.
And was it, I was going to say out of desperation, but I don't mean it like that, but I hope you understand what I mean. What was your motive? That sounds terrible. But I suppose as a social media person, right, okay, there's an advantage in going on telly as well, because it's brand Ireland's favourite gay as well, so there's benefits for that. But I mean, do you feel that you needed this? Like, in other words, traditional dating wasn't working and you genuinely wanted to find love, or was it stuff it, I want to try it, it's a bit of crack, and you know what, it gets the name out there as well? So what was your motivation going into this?
This is actually so interesting, because obviously the date happened before I actually blew up on social
media.
Media.
Okay, brilliant.
So I actually only gained nearly 90,000 followers in the space of 5 months on Instagram. So I'm just blowing up, and I was just like, oh my God, if I knew that this was gonna happen, I probably would have maybe like applied, because I now would got questions like that, it's like, oh, you just wanted me for for your name then to be more like.
But there's no shame in that game. I don't think there's any problem with that. I wouldn't.
Oh, no, absolutely. But like, I generally went to First Dates Ireland because my love life was absolutely horrible. Like I just kept getting cheated on. I was just like, this is horrible. And then my twin sister, like she was watching me cry, and I was like, I just cannot do love anymore. I'm gonna turn 27. I live with my dog. I'm literally a representation of like loneliness. And then my twin sister was like, Mary, look, I'm going to write your name for First Dates Ireland. I was like, Vanessa, please don't. It's just like, Mary, let's just do it. There's nothing to lose. It cannot get any worse, your love life. I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So she signed me up. She helped me with the whole process. And then I ended up like getting a date in First Dates Ireland. But it all started because my love life really generally could not go any worse because I just kept getting cheated on everywhere. So yeah.
And the thing about it too is, listen, we can watch and see how you and Boo get on. But I mean, obviously, one of the criteria is that, you want a faithful relationship. So you knew going into your date that you were going to get that. Now, if it sparks after that, all well and good, but it filters out an awful lot of the noise, doesn't it, in terms of the type of person that you want?
Yes, absolutely. Like the main requirement, I was like, blonde, blue eyes, nice smile. They want to have the crack, and please that they are loyal. Like, I feel like loyalty is so hard to find nowadays. And sometimes that happens a lot in the queer community because it's such a small community. Cheating sometimes can happen more often, I suppose, in the straight relationships. But yeah, no, to me it was just all loyalty, please. Some of me.
I haven't seen the program, but obviously, as part of it, part of the format is, we want to learn a bit about you and your experiences.
Yeah.
And I can imagine, you're a very attractive woman, and I'm sure attractive to all sexes, right? So you probably had to explain to an awful lot of people that you're gay, right? But also in terms of, finding your place, finding people to be around, being seen for who you are. I imagine to get to where you are now, it's been a tough old journey for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I did an article with Independent, and it came out yesterday, and the amount of hate comments, I was like, oh my God, please somebody hide me under the rock. And I was just kind of like scared for once because I have always been so proud of who I am, and
So you're sorry, just because this is actually really quite important. So and you've said it, but I want to be clear. You did an article with the Irish Independent that was broadcast on Tuesday, and obviously people start commenting on that in social media. You've kind of gone backwards, do you feel, in terms of your confidence and happiness off the back of those comments? Can I just say one thing, though, and I know you know this, and I don't want this to sound patronising, that is not reflective of people. That is people who mostly are anonymous, mostly are unhappy in their lives, mostly that they derive pleasure. Can you imagine deriving pleasure from hurting another person? I hope you don't give them the spot. I hope you don't give them what they crave. They want to upset you, but they are not reflective of the overwhelming majority of people, be it in this country or any country for that matter.
No, thank you so much, Greg. Like it means a lot. Like actually yesterday, I had a lot of people then supporting me because obviously they saw the hate comments, and I had a content creator called Alan Clark. Like he literally was like messaging me and saying, Mary, they are just very, very unhappy with their lives. Don't you worry about it. And whenever I started even getting the emails about like, would you like to come on the radio, or would you like to come to a TV show tomorrow? I literally just wanted to say no. I wanted just to hide and be like, no, like this is not for me. And then I just thought, what about the people who are still in the closet and are seeing all these hate comments that I'm getting? They probably, whenever they see that, they're like, oh my God, if Mary's getting them hate comments, I just genuinely don't want to come out. So I'm actually out here today, and I'm going to be hopefully in the next few weeks more out there as well, just to prove people to please to not be scared that you might get hate comments, but I'm here for you to be that representation.
But the majority of families, the majority of people listening to this programme in the northwest of Ireland have someone who they love very much dearly that is gay, lesbian, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? And there's very few families or people listening to this that don't have a grandchild, a nephew, a niece that they love. You know what I mean? And support. That is the reality. The only thing I want for you is to be happy. I don't particularly mind whom it's with, if you know what I mean. But I have to get my own stuff in order. I have enough to deal with. And this, when I say me, I'm sort of speaking as me as us all as individuals. I have enough to keep my ducks in a row, to keep myself happy, to keep myself sane. You know, to start worrying about you or to try and hurt you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the majority of people out there. We all have our own stuff to do, and we need to stop fascinating over what other people are doing. Anyway, I don't want to ruin the fun. Can I ask, did you and Boo go on a second date? So I don't know what the story is. Do you want to ruin it? Should we just leave it as a surprise?
You're going to have to see tomorrow.
That's boring.
I know, right?
Okay, well, listen.
You can ring me after. After the show, you can ring me after and then we can analyse.
Well, listen, come here. I hope it all went well for you. I wish you nothing but happiness. And thank you very much for joining us on the programme today.
Thank you so much, Greg.
All right, take care of yourself. Bye-bye. That is... see you, Mary. That's Mary Hernandez, who's a former ATU Donegal Student Union president, taking part, talking about her experience in first dates. It's on tomorrow night, Thursday night, I beg your pardon, which is tomorrow night, would you believe, on RTE2. And there you go. I know some people are going to be triggered listening to that, and I get you. I just don't have the brain space to sort of... as long as people are happy and whatever they're doing, that's good. That's what I really need. I find it hard to find love. I think first dates would be perfect for me. Yeah, indeed. What about, someone's bound to come up with a local first dates? I know there's matchmaking competitions or something, but wouldn't it be fun? A sort of like a first dates sort of an event in a hotel in around Letterkenny or at Donegal Town or the Inishowen Gateway or out in... Dunlow or something, whereby it's just a lovely space where people enter and single, mix up, have a few drinks, fall in love, all that kind of stuff. Hi, Greg. I met my wonderful husband, James Cullen, on Friday the 13th of September, 2013. We got married on the 13th of January. So lucky 13 for us. That comes in from Mary. And they've 13 kids. No, they don't. James and Mary, congratulations to you. A very special... couple, obviously, with 13 featuring really strongly in their lives in a really positive way.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
In this week's RTE Guide, Home of the Year's Hugh Wallace on life challenges, personal growth and positivity. Donal Gleeson and Andrea Riseborough on their new series Alison Jack, debuting this week on RTE. Plus our Home and Interiors feature for perfect paint decor and eco-chic homewares. Everything and more. RTE Guide, on sale now.
Indulge in a romantic getaway at the Radisson Blu Letterkenny. Experience an enticing romantic package starting at €239. Relish a Valentine's dinner at just $39.95 per person. Or share cherished memories with an exclusive voucher. Book online or call 9194444. Valentine's Day dinner is served on the 14th, 16th and 17th at the Radisson Blu Letterkenny.
Nutrius Milk Replacer range, which includes NutriStart and NutriStart Plus, offers the best start to your calves this spring season. With 23% and 25% crude proteins, ideal for calf to beef and heifers rearing systems. Give your calves the best possible start. Available in your local Homeland store. Visit nutrius.ie for full nutritional information.
Sheridan Security, now introducing zero-wire smart alarm systems. Zero wire, zero mess, and a real peace of mind. With a simple press of a button, your alarm can be set or unset, or download the free app and control it from your phone. Call us today on 074 912 6025 and get your alarm from €299. Stay local, stay safe, and protect what you value most with Sheridan Security Systems.
Inland Fisheries Ireland is looking for seasonal fisheries officers to join our teams around the country. Our officers play an important role in the protection and management of Ireland's rivers, lakes and coastlines. As a seasonal fisheries officer, you'll implement and enforce legislation to help conserve these natural resources. If you love working outdoors, whatever the weather, and if you're happy working shifts that include evenings and weekends, find out more at fisheriesireland.ie/careers.
Highland Radio weather updates brought to you by Grant. Building a new home? Choose Grant's A++ rated Airona air-to-water heat pump and Uflex underfloor heating. Visit grant.ie.
Rightio, let's look at that weather forecast for today. It's the same one I read. It hasn't been updated. Rain clearing now for a time this afternoon with perhaps some hazy sunshine developing. Later, however, another band of rain will spread over the region during this evening. Mild and quite muggy, I'm told, with temperatures of 11 to 13 degrees in a southerly breeze. 086 60 25,000, the very busy WhatsApp and text number. Thank you very much for that. So we were speaking to a listener earlier on. I think we all sympathise with him. Side of the van hit by a deer. You know, it wasn't even a frontal impact. The deer literally ran into the side of his van, causing thousands of euro in damage. Andy joins us. Hi, Andy.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I think it's kind of accepted, isn't it, that we're going to have to control our deer population, and then the debate will be, well, how do we do it? What say you?
Well, I think they do need to be controlled, and I think it'd be nice if venison was promoted more and it made its way into the more mainstream food chain, you know, or maybe that meat could be used for dog food, cat food, something along those lines, you know?
It is an interesting conversation, and one that probably should be had alongside the conversation that's been happening now about how we control the population. Because I think there was a study or a report out, or views being seen as to how we control the deer population. Remarkably, Andy, we don't actually know the deer population. We've never really done a census. I don't know if that's work that is ongoing, but certainly this is some valuable, worthwhile meat that could find its way into either the human or animal food chain.
Well, it is, and as we know, deer have no natural predator anymore, and there is call to reintroduce wolves, but I think that's a different conversation altogether. But you know, they do massive amounts of damage, and if they're let breed, then they are going to increase numbers, and farmers' crops are going to be affected. Forests, you know, there's lots of knock-on effects to having such a big deer population, and it's delicious meat. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love deer. I think they're magnificent animals, and I think every part of that animal could be utilised in some way. Even if it's just the antlers for dog chews, you know, that kind of way.
And I think too the idea of the meat being used makes it more palatable for those who perhaps are wobbling or are uncertain about a cull. Do you know what I mean? If there is some process that follows the culling, I think it makes it more palatable, perhaps for some people.
Absolutely. Look, I think I do think it could be an excellent business for somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wild Donegal meat, wild Donegal venison coming from the hills of Donegal, market it. You know, there's venison in Aldi's and Lidl's these days. It's probably as good as beef. It can be used in any way that beef could be used. Possibly lamb as well. Barons Court in Tyrone, very close to us, has a thriving business selling the venison that's taken from their estate. So, you know, somebody could do it.
What's it taste like, Andy?
Look, it's beautiful. It's stronger than beef. It has a taste of its own. A lot of people get put off because they've had venison that is strong. It's been probably killed in a stressful way, which puts adrenaline through the meat and it alters the taste of it. But if the thing is harvested correctly and humanely and as quickly and as professionally as possible, it's a delicious meat.
What way do you think we should be culling them? What do you think of this giving people, opening, a culling season and people go out? There's an element of sport to it. I mean, is that not a bit archaic a way of doing it? Do we not need to sort of round them up and dispense with them, if you're into that, like cattle or sheep, rather than sort of shooting them as they run across a field?
God, that's a real tough and big debate, you know.
Yeah.
But look, anybody who has a rifle is obviously should be, trained and licensed to have one. It shouldn't be just an indiscriminate thing. There should be a select amount of trained, experienced hunters who do that kind of thing. And there are those people in Donegal, those people who live here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, okay. And they used to say the wolves thing. Listen, back in the day where most of Ireland was covered by trees and all that type of stuff, we have displaced wolves permanently in this country. There's no scenario whilst we live here that they could ever return. So it is coming down to an organised cull. And as you say, don't waste the meat, either dog food, the food chain, chewing bones, whatever it might be. Okay, Andy, thank you very much for that. And I also understand that there are people out there that even the casual sort of talk of killing deer they would find that upsetting. Apologies if you do. But Teresa Dealey's on Facebook. I just love venison. I've tried venison a couple of times going back, and I found it very metally, and I tried it with different sauces, without sauces. Actually, I tell you where I had it, and it was the only time I was ever there, back a long time ago, McNean's Bistro. But anyway, back in the day. All right, I for one, says this listener, love hunting and managing deer numbers and keeping a healthy population. It should be welcomed. People coming hunting and doing it for free, not chasing them or making them feel like criminals. A caller says it wouldn't matter tuppence. So it wouldn't matter tuppence if Ireland boycotted Israel. It's all about what the big countries want. We could march from Donegal to Cork and still nothing would change. Yeah, I suppose. But maybe we'd feel we're on the right side of history, because this will be written about in years to come. There's a video on YouTube with a link to click on it. The video claims to know how Ryan Tubridy made $250,000 and to click on the link to obtain money. I think we all know how you made that money. But anyway, there's a link then that will ask you for your bank details. Why is YouTube allowing this if it's illegal? Immediate... okay, they go straight into it. I don't know. Facebook seems to be a free-for-all in terms of ads and scams at the moment. I don't know what the story is. Twitter's the same now, or X. They're all at it. I was in a similar incident to Kieran. That's the fellow whose van was hit by a deer. I claimed $1,300 off my own insurance to pay for the damage. When I renewed my insurance, it was double the price. I used to pay $400. It went up to $960. I'd be better off paying it out of my own pocket. Cheaper maybe to try and get a credit union loan or something. Okay. Listen, I know I was only away for a couple of days, but great to be back. Thank you so much for all the love, all the comments, all the texts. Everything, just listening. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much indeed. We're back with you to do it all again tomorrow morning from 9. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you are treated like the king or queen that you are. And if you're on your own, happy with a bag of popcorn and a film, feet up, no one telling you not to do a bang bang or whatever it might be. But come here, enjoy your day if you can, however you do so. Back tomorrow morning.